Hello and welcome back to the Metropolitan Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry, Pat. No, I haven't hit the button yet because I have to unmute the music first, right? And now I do the button. It's May 5th and Pat's here. How's it going, Pat? You good?
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Happy to be here. It's me, Patrick Sklar. Yeah, it's May 5th. What a day.
It's what a day.
5-5.
It's May the 5th be with you. It's unseasonably warm. I'm kidding. It's pleasant. I feel like we get bogged down a lot in talking about the weather. And honestly, I don't like what it does to the energy around here.
I think the first 5 to 10 minutes of every stream are you trying to remember what the date is. And so far, we've blown right past that.
But I nailed it. I said May 5th,
Yeah,
right?
no, this time you did it right on this, on the first try. And I'm really proud of you.
I've been
That was like noticeable.
practicing.
I noticed it.
Yeah, I
Like, that's
know.
how rare it is that you nail it, as I noticed it.
Yeah, so today was like, do you want to do your 15 minutes of Duolingo or do you want to figure out what the date was? And I thought of everybody watching this right now, and I don't know French anymore.
Ah, dang.
I know.
You know what? It was worth it.
It might have been. How's everyone
The
doing?
nice thing about
Sorry?
The nice thing about today's date is no matter if you spell it in American or European ordering, you're gonna get it right.
Yeah, and then I enter into LibreOffice and then it's like 2005, May 22nd. And I'm like, why
Mhm.
who in the free world writes it like this? Like who wants year first? Like, are you cataloging Civil
Mhm.
War footage? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
And I'm still a bit confused about how Canada does it.
I don't
Like,
know.
Quebec does it differently from the rest of Canada, right?
I
Or am I wrong?
I've always just hoped that it'd be obvious that one of those numbers is above 12.
Right. Right. I'm always confused. I always have to take a chance.
Yeah. So far it hasn't
Hi,
caught up to
everybody.
me. How's everyone doing? Hey, Light, Truce. Yo, Frank, howdy, neighbor. How's it going? Nice choice of music. Yeah, that actually, I'm wondering at what point you said that. If it was during the Bambino song, then you're 100% correct because that's the best song that I think we have access to. Oh, it's the Cinco de
What's the
Mayo today.
Bambino
It's the
song?
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah, that's easy to remember.
That's a good one. We don't.
Mhm,
I honestly don't really know what the Cinco de Mayo is. Not a lot of. I'm assuming Mexican representation up around here. I reckon that's
mhm.
a bigger thing in the States. It's day, month, year. I will die on this hill. PMK. Look,
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
that's
Of course, it should go in increasing scale.
it should be the way that you say it. Oh shit, never mind. Don't talk about that. Hey Chimara, I did watch the pre-show last week 3 times just for the music. Yo, it's good, isn't it? Some of it's quite good. I try and
Mhm.
retire the stuff that I get bored of that I don't think is quite good. And then every once in a while we like boot in new tracks, but I don't like to say anything to see if it sneaks up on you. Hey Pat, Montreal star and co-tournament organizer. That's a nice way
I'm
of
right.
putting it.
That's me. That's what I do. I'm the guy who finds people who have OP kits, and I shake them until they just help me organize something. Come on.
Dude, I was confused because I understood that you were like beginning to organize this event, and then suddenly it was just the John show, which like I'm not complaining about that, let's be honest. But
Mhm.
you did help organize this.
Yeah, no one else was. And John was saying, like, "I've got no OP kit," so I just, like
Here we
so
go.
tracked him down, held him firmly by the shoulders, and I told him, "John, what day are you free?" And he said, "This day." And I'm like, "John, they're doing a Magic the Gathering release. We're gonna do the next weekend." He said, "Yes, Patrick." And there we are. We had a great turnout.
We did. We really did. Oh, we'll be talking about that in a second because there's like it's our first event we've had in a long time. It went really
Mhm.
well. It was really fun. A lot of old faces, some new faces. It was really exciting. I know that we have a lot to talk about. Elwin, I don't know if I said hi. Yeah, it is Cinco de Mayo. I don't know what you do for that. PMK, Frank, and Ixaron. Just spell the month. The rest doesn't matter. I guess so. Yo, Andre and Pat, happy Thursday. Arkham update. Rita and Diana are still going strong through TCU. I think you picked like the one of the best combinations for that set. And I think you did a really good job on that. Again, I don't love Circle Undone. I feel like the mechanic of what's it called? Haunted just really goofs up with some people who want to fail on purpose. But I think that
Yeah, that's true.
that's a good thing.
Like, it also makes it adds a bit more danger to a very basic action. I think that makes things more exciting if I could counter that.
Mm,
Hmm,
eh,
okay,
I hear
agree,
you.
disagree.
No, I hear you. And a lot of people say that. Like, it's just like retaliate. And I guess so. But you can evade or retaliate.
Mhm,
I don't know if you've been paying attention to the world of Arkham Horror. They've been putting out, I think we're on like the 8th cryptic update. I guess we can pull it up. FFG Twitter. And they're all these like heavily redacted, like, I don't know what you'd call these sheets with pictures of art from old games, from new games, talking about like the secret keys and the coteries and organization, the clandestine organization. And it's like a lot of, and we knew this going forward, a lot of like globe trotting. So you
mhm.
see elements or called out names from places around the world, from like where are we, like Marrakesh, and then Alaska and Buenos
Yeah,
Aires,
someone
like
in Nepal and stuff like that.
yeah, we're going all over the place.
Mhm,
This is my hot take. In the month of May, I think this is Mega Man, and I'm gonna stake my
mhm.
reputation on this one. I think
Okay.
this box is gonna deliver like 8 or however Mega Man works. I think it's 8 different locations, and then you
Mhm.
choose the order to do those, and then you defeat these bosses that are bespoke, and then you get powers to use. You played a Mega Man game, right?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna disagree with you. I think you're probably close to right
I hope so.
because because, like, now that they've done the boxes this way, they have the freedom to make a totally open campaign, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah,
They might as
because
well use this newfound power.
so we'll see. I don't know whether that like destructures the narrative. It'll be like, have you done this? Read this paragraph, and then there's like 300 things you don't read. Maybe that's exciting for like replayability. But it's been going on. I think people thought, myself included, that they would reveal what the content was today because I think FFG normally drops like big news dumps on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm, yeah, but I'm sure this is the last cryptic thing because this is
Oh, we can
finally we
only
get to
hope.
the one that we know. This is like we all know the red gloved man,
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, this
last pack of Dunwich.
he's got his like elder sign little cufflinks. I never realized that. That's sick.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. It looks like SCP related. It has the exact same tone of SCP with like all the heavy redaction talking about like a
Mhm.
subject class yellow, do not approach at all like costs. Make sure you do not blink. That sort of stuff, which is really cool. There's also like a campaign tracker at the bottom, so it looks like it is 7 chapters. Maybe it goes on longer. Maybe that's just what a
Mm.
calendar looks like. Who knows? Reminds me of the old Mythos card game. I'm not actually familiar with that one. Is that like the LCG that the competitive LCG? They used to be an Arkham one, right? Like the Elder. What was that? FFG used
Yeah,
to have like competitive LCG.
yeah, it was called, not Call of Cthulhu, or was it Call of Cthulhu
Something
card
like that.
game?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's drawing. Yo, it's so guy. It's drawing from the Call of Cthulhu game. Okay, that tracks. I know we have FG. We have a bunch of people in Montreal who collected and played this game. I don't even think I've seen what the cards look like. But this was like the LCG back in the day, also alongside Lord of the Rings. They don't make this anymore. I don't think they've made it for
Yeah,
like half a decade.
I don't think this was their f no, maybe this was their first competitive LCG, because they also did a Warhammer Invasion was also pretty early.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, this has been out of print for a while. I wonder what it looks like.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna look up when,
Hey, Catherine, how's it
uh
going? Glad to catch a stream on time tonight. Hey, welcome. We just started. You've missed very
yeah,
little.
that's
We
so
figured out what the
the
date is. It's no big
it's
deal.
2008.
Oh, Damon Stone's on this one.
Oh, no way, good for him.
From Marseille to
Cool.
Arkham and the end of time. There's Inspector Space
Uh,
Time or whatever. That's cool.
what's that fantasy show with the dragons?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I played that Tau Deep Dive deck last night at my meetup, fired all 3 copies and saw 0 Slamau. Yeah, this is we're pretty heavily on Deep Dive. We're on 3 Deep Dive, 5 out of the ashes. We're gonna talk about, I guess, before we jump into this, because we had a store championship this last weekend, just tell you a bit how it goes. Hopefully that's interesting enough. But the last game, Pat was playing against Scott, and then
Scott,
you deep
yeah.
dived, and everyone's watching because you're the last table, and you deep dived and saw 0, and the whole room like cheers. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, I know that was a great moment, and Scott played it perfectly because he dramatically flipped over one
Yeah.
card at a time, uh, and I could have grabbed like, I had 2 clicks.
Nah,
I don't
man.
no agendas. Absolute whiff.
Yeah, that's
Painful.
something that I haven't really considered when talking about these sort of cards. It's like the Future Perfect back in the day. Like, yeah, some people are divided on whether that's a healthy card or not, but it does allow those like really exciting performances when it comes to like
Mhm,
table play, where everyone's watching and there's like a flourish because you can actually show all 8. That's great. How to Train Your
mhm.
Dragon. We were playing Arkham the other day, and my friend accidentally called it How I Met Your Dragon, which I think is immensely
No,
more entertaining.
that's the subtitle for Shrek, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Uh, FFG Call of Cthulhu LCG was a reboot of the original CCG. Oh, I have no idea about that.
Oh, wow, okay.
Is that like one of the old AEG kind of stuff? Like, was it the same people who made L5R? In Mythos, the players take the role of investigators, traveling between Lovecraft country and around the world, meeting allies, gathering tomes and other items, fighting monsters, and trying to complete stories for points before going insane or dying. I don't know whether that's actually like the box. Oh, it's Chaosium. Whether that's actually the stuff on the box or whether that's just your description, but it sounds like the original board games from my understanding.
Yeah, so the collectible card game was 2004. Apparently, lead designer Eric Lang, so
Hmm.
cool. I've liked some of his stuff. And then the living card game was 2008. So, like, the collectible card game did not have a long time to, like, settle in, I feel.
No, but there's so many CCGs that last like 2-3 years.
Yeah, Netrunner was one of them,
Yeah,
frankly,
yeah,
and that one
yeah,
also got picked up, and we're glad for that.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so Pat, what happened this weekend? We had a thing.
Mhm.
Want to do a bit of a story time? I reckon. I'm just gonna make our cameras a
Yeah,
bit
let's do
bigger.
story time. How do you
Okay.
wanna organize story time?
Okay, so I'll tell you what happened, and I'll tell you like my side of things, and then maybe you
Yeah,
fill in with yours. Okay.
absolutely.
So it was last Saturday. It's been a store championship. This is our first store championship that we've had, or it's our first organized competitive event that we've had in Montreal in I think 2.5 years, maybe 3 years.
Wow.
Just because of
Yeah.
obviously the lockdowns and all that sort of stuff, and also because going to Nice, it's been a lot harder. Back in the day, Montreal had so much support because there were so many stores that would actively like buy product and would organize things. Like there were some summers that we'd have 8 store championships. Like that wasn't weird for Montreal, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But that's obviously slowed down with Nice, and then of course with the pandemic, it's been different. So like I think everyone is really looking forward to this. We also we've been talking about this, so we wanted to see like which old players would show up who haven't played in a long time, and maybe which new players would show up as well, which is really exciting. Like this game goes nowhere if not new players show up and get into the game. So we've been talking on this channel a bit about building decks for it and preparing. I've been grinding the Naz deck and tuning it, and like basically every night, if not every other night, here at home, me and Maddie would be practicing. Maddie also went. She came along, and
Hmm.
she's a bit nervous generally to go out, just because she hasn't played too much, and she's like she just wants to do well enough. And so like we're practicing and trying to figure out decks that she'll like because she doesn't know the meta very well. So we're trying to, onboard her for that. And it's going pretty well. Like we ground a lot of games before we went off on Saturday. So Saturday's a beautiful day. We get on our Bixies, the rental bikes, so we bike all the way down. It's a beautiful ride. Maddie also started biking for like the first time since she was like 7 last week, so it's pretty exciting. And we get there, and it's Silver Goblin's a lovely place, and I think we have 15 people,
Hmm.
which is really good. That's like a
Yeah.
pretty good number. Obviously, you'd like an even number if you can, but in terms of like store championship or organized play, that's actually one of the bigger events going on this season, which is fantastic. So I'm playing. So actually I published this deck list. This is right now in NetRunner, and we're gonna be talking about this a bit, but I published this deck list in Aztec, and I made a really thorough write-up talking about how it works. It's up here if you want to, like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. But I've been playing this as deck list, and I think the other thing we're gonna play today is I net decked this. I was actually couldn't figure out what deck to play, and I was actually practicing like some ganked HB type of deck, and then I found this deck that Man in the Moon posted only a couple days before, and this is something that they won at their opener on, I think it was the West Coast. Yo, Giles, how's it going? And I love this deck, and I'll talk about why I like it so much maybe in a bit, but I wanted to try this a fair bit, and I wanted to get out and give it a shot. So I ground a couple games. I even went on JNet and played a couple games with this, and I liked it a lot. Eric says, did I get credit for supplying decklist SMH, or did you not play the ones I sent you? Eric, Maddie actually played the corp deck you suggested to me, and she did good with that. Thank you. This is Eric, who I reached out and be like, yo, what's good? I want to know what's good right now for something for me to play and for Maddie. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. It's good enough. Quite good. Anyways, so we have 15 players. I'll take a quarter of all the winnings. So we have 4 rounds that day. I guess I'll talk about the decks I played. So we're gonna talk about this Palantir deck in a bit. I've been working on this Az deck for a while. It's really fun. I've tuned it pretty heavily to what I thought the meta would be. So like we have fast advance hate with things like Clot, which I think is really important right now. There's so many people fast advancing out right now. And we also have Stargate because I want to be able to end the game and control the game. And then we have a package that is not too greedy compared to some of the old Az lists, but also can just play like good stuff, criminal stuff. We have Bravado, Diversion, Deuces Wild, Sure Gamble. Like we just want to be able to set up and play the game while also building our Doom engine at the same time. And it's been pretty great. Kat, how's it going? It's going really well. How are you doing? This deck I also really wanted to play, and it was really funny how well lined up into meta. This is a Reality Plus deck that is actually, I think, quite elegant in a lot of ways, but I think there's some things that it struggles with. Mostly its economy isn't exactly there. But I think the biggest reason why I wanted to play this is I knew that there's going to be new players and experienced players, and I love a deck that can capitalize on your opponent making mistakes,
Mm.
for
Yeah.
better or for
Look at
worse.
that.
Because I
Hmm.
find myself in situations where oftentimes I'll be against a player who maybe is not respecting like what NBN can do, and you don't have the right punishment, or you're playing against HB and they're just going ham, and like you can still lose the game. And I like to have some control, and I like to have that sort of riposte where like, oh, if you step out of line, I'm gonna let you know that you have to watch out for certain things. And so I really wanted to play a deck with All Seeing Eye. Firstly, everybody is on pad tap. Literally everybody's on 3 pad tap. I've saw
Yeah.
in every matchup 2 to 3 pad tap, and I don't understand what you're meant to do against pad tap. I cannot trash pad taps. You literally cannot afford to do it. So I wanted to do this, but like in every matchup, and I think a large part of that is that Adam, excuse me, was the most represented runner by a mile.
Yeah. There were 5 Adams
I played
out of
3 of
15
them.
players.
I played 3 Adam. I all seeing eyed 3 of them. They were not happy
That's
with
great.
me. They really
Yeah.
were not happy with me, which is exactly like the thing. It's like I knew that there's gonna be people playing a lot of resources that the Anarchs do. I thought Adam would be popular, but not that popular. And so having an ability to close the game with all seeing eye and exchange of information seemed very valuable to me. I really like this. Richard, how's it going? Never seen this before. Very cool card. It's a super mean card. This
Mm.
text at the bottom isn't always relevant. Usually only the top matters, but like, let me tell you, if someone installs 3 pat tap, what's it called? All the directives, the DreamNet, it's kind of something else. Do you think you'll put together a super off meta spicy list ever for a stream? Scrub, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, I feel like we do that every other
We
stream.
try to at least. Like we're generally
Mhm.
not often like just playing the competitive best stuff and grinding it to like the nth degree. We're usually trying to like build something weird. So I'm hoping that we already line up to that. Pushing
Yeah,
hubris is
'cause I
always
feel like
fun. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, usually we do, like, "Here's a fun idea, let's build a whole deck around that," or something
Yeah.
that's not exactly meta focused.
Another cool thing about sorry?
I was about to say, like, to Giles, like, I think that's, like, your responsibility as someone who gets people into the game is to absolutely demolish new players whenever they get even, an iota of confidence about their play, right? Like, they get a tag and you tell them, "No, you're bad. You should feel bad." All-seeing eye.
Yeah, the first Adam I played against, we'll talk about it in a second when we go through the
Mhm.
rounds, but they were a new player that was actually handed a deck. They reached out on our channels and were like, "Hey, I've been only playing System Gateway. I don't have standard deck lists. Can someone give me a deck list to play?" And John kindly enough sleeved up 2 decks, like a PD that
Mm.
was actually a Jinja deck, which I was surprised, and an Adam deck, which like has so many triggers, but like this guy was nailing them. He was doing pretty good. And then I all
You
seeing
did pretty well in
item.
the end, I think.
I think so, yeah. I all seeing item. He's like, "There's no way," and he looked at the card and he like could not believe it. I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, man.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. That's
yeah.
how it goes." Another reason why I wanted to play this deck, and the reason why I also wanted to play or that this Az deck is that I tried out some of the new cards because one of the big things about this event too is John was the mass orderer of all our Midnight Sun booster packs, so we were going there to pick up the cards as well. So we had
Mhm.
physical cards. So I want to try Vladisibris Grid. Huge fan. Really, really huge fan of this card. Super flexible, specifically for a deck that's running 3 seamless launch. You can start doing some nonsense with this. I love it. Yeah, welcome to standard. It's exactly it. Turn one Jemison, Adam against Jemison. Adam, I feel some deja vu. Adam against Jemison, Adam feels some deja. Yeah, yeah. There was actually like 2 Jemison there, which is pretty wild. The past few times I tuned in, it's been decklist of the week. Oh, we always start scrub with the decklist of the week, but then from there we generally do some nonsense.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the rounds just so this doesn't drag on. Pat, what did you play? Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I brought Steve Cambridge, which is basically a net deck, and like anytime I net deck, I do make some modifications.
Okay,
It was a Steve Cambridge.
the deep dive one, right?
It was a deep dive deck,
Yeah, Mr.
so it
Tea
has
Time
Swift.
66.
Yeah, yeah. This must be what I based it off of,
Okay,
but I made some small changes. What I add? I think I added in like embezzle as another event just
cool.
for fun hand disruption.
Okay,
And that did work. I mean, I didn't do too well in the tournament overall, but I did have fun. I did have a lot
yeah.
of fun with this deck.
This seems like a
Um,
fun deck.
yeah, no,
I've
it's a good time, and it's not uninteractive. Like I am running constantly.
yeah.
It's like I feel like that like with the deep dive deck, there's temptation to just like build up until you can have that one mega turn. But I was happy to constantly put pressure on, and there's so many uh, events that reward that, so I was happy with it.
So Yasengrin, hold on, I'm just gonna pull it up. Put out a good video just the other day talking about like what the standard meta looks like now and going through all the main archetypes. I forgot it was Thursday. Congrats, Andre. Thank you, Yasengrin. Yo, hey, speak of the devil. And I love that one of the things he said specifically, okay, I guess we're watching this Valorant ad. It's here. I'll link it in the show notes after the stream. Is that he talked
Mhm.
about like playing good stuff criminal, and I think his the word he used to describe it, which is so good, is plotting. Like every single good stuff criminal deck like generally plays the same. Like you build your board so you get your money, you hold them down, then you find your singleton turning wheel, and then like you try and slow the game down, which is something like I'm realizing more and more when I play criminal. Like I need a Stargate or bust, right?
Mhm.
Just came.
Uh,
Was that your deck pad? Ochen asks.
uh, was that my deck? Who was asking that?
Ochen in
I'm not
chat
seeing
on
it.
YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, this is the deck I played, but I added some embezzle
Okay.
just for some fun disruption. And my corp was sports metal, which is basically the sports metal that I play off and on for a few years, which is
I've
like sports metal that
Arella
uses
Salvatore,
Aurela's
right?
Salvage. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rush sports metal. I don't even play like crazy combos. It's just I put it behind some cheap ice with Aurela Salvatore, and then I just use that to like be installing an agenda every turn.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it works out well enough.
I
Like
don't.
I'm still happy with it.
I don't think you posted one, right?
I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did post this one.
Okay.
I maybe I did.
But like out of anybody, you know how some people have like their cards, their like a signature card that you could associate to
Oh
somebody by
yes,
their
it has two
playstyle.
of those.
It's Arella Salvatore always for Pat. Any deck that Pat plays, generally there's an Arella Salvatore in there for some reason.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I think like yes, in
Really?
sports metal decks,
Yeah,
I always
always
put
in
her in.
sports metal. Yeah, that's for
I would
sure.
say the corp cards. There are corp cards I'm more known for putting
You
in
think
every
of
deck.
Archer?
Archer, yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
absolutely Archer.
That's true as
Yeah,
well. But I
and if I'm
was
going to an event for new players, always snare.
did you put snares in your deck?
Not in this one, no, but I told people I did.
Yeah, I think you told people you had put 5 in. You
Mhm.
threw a picture up on chat. Cool. Cool, cool. Is there any reason you took those decks? Those are just the ones I think that you're comfortable with, I take it?
I mean, I did go back. Like, I had so many ideas for runner decks,
Okay.
uh, and in the end, I was like, no, this one looks like it's confident, and I'll make it my own by adding some weird stuff in. And then with the corp one, yeah, this is something I'm comfortable running. I know all the tricks of it. Uh, I don't think I even used any of the Midnight Sun booster cards in that deck, just because like, no,
HP
no,
one isn't
I'll
that good.
yeah, it's not gonna be good in this deck
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So I was happy just to play it normally, and it still worked out fine. It works like it always does.
Frank says I knew it was a mind game, no snares. Oh, then there'll be a snares next time. Just watch out.
Yeah, there will be stairs next time, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure. Okay, so we had 4 rounds. There's 15 players. So first round I was playing against a guy named Sam, and it was his first tournament standard, so he was lent decks. So the first matchup was he was playing an HB deck, and I think there was a lot of like standard pillars that he learned. Like he got boomeranged into diversion and then had no money in a render mode server. So stuff like that happened a fair bit. And it was a bit of a struggle. I think he flooded up early too, but his Jinja I trashed early and then he didn't get spun up. And then he was playing Adam, and it was actually like it is scary always because Adam can see the top of the deck, which is a really big thing about this sort of list. It's like it's annoying to the ice is taxing enough, but if they can run and see that they only run the harder servers when there's an agenda on there, it kind of catches up to you. But you have a
Mhm.
lot of good things against Adam. You have ping, which is really hard for them to deal with logic bomb. You can't logic bomb on a ping turn. Same things with
Oh, yeah.
Crytek and remote server. You can't logic bomb that. So you can set up some like really nasty turns where they end their turn with a tag and then you do all seeing eye into exchange of information and you get there. That's how that worked. Vlodisperse, mind you, it's just such a strong card. Potentially, people are not trashing this enough, even after it fires. The issue with this card is it's so expensive, and this deck doesn't really have the money. But even when this is res, like after you score out a 4-2 from hand with Vlodisperse, you can start like seamless launch this, install a 3-2, advance the 3-2, score the 3-2 out. Like there was even one game where like I think I drew up, click one, drew into like a 15 minutes, and then you can still score it out from hand with a seamless launch as long as you have the Vlodisperse on the table. Like you can do some wild
Mm.
stuff, and it's like really fun and flexible. This agenda suite's really weird. You always think you have one more remastered. You should have one more remastered than you do, but it's nice.
That
Um,
is an interesting suite. There's the one Project Beal that I guess you're hoping to.
it's like this deck
What is
is
it? Is it because it's 3-2 or because you can
it's a
over advance
3-2.
it?
It's just a
Okay.
3-2. It's really interesting because when I've been playing this, you have to keep track of your agendas and you have to have like a really strong game plan. It's not like a lot of the HB decks, whatever, where you'll score whatever agenda you can. And then at that point, you're like, I hope I find the food so I don't have to score 4 agendas. For this thing, like you generally want to feed them an early Bologna. You want to always score the 15 minutes as soon as possible. And then you want to
Mhm.
score an early remastered edition. And then from there, you're like, okay, at that point, I can win by exchanging and then fast advancing out one of the 3-2s, tomorrow's
Mhm.
headline or Beal in that order. So the 3-2s are really important. If you lose 2 3-2s, the deck gets a lot more difficult. Admittedly, you have 3 seamless launch, which I think all day people were like so surprised that it's just like, oh, the unadvanced cards, seamless advanced, it's a bloner. And they're like, what? You can do that? I'm like, yeah, you can do that. It's 6 influence, which is not a lot, but this card is absurd. So that's really fun. I think one of the biggest issues I ran into with this deck again is just the how much damn pad tap there is. Like
Yeah.
everyone has pad tap. Again, I played against 3 Atoms, so pad tap Rezeki all day. And then cards like Mouseless, they gain credits off of this. Anytime that they take a tag, Reality Plus is not a May ability. The first time each turn the runner takes a tag, gain 2 or draw 2. You can't choose not to. So if they
Mm.
have 3 pad taps, they're gaining 3 credits. Immediately they're taking a tag, which isn't great, but like it's annoying. And you can't be like, no, thank you. I don't want to draw 2 cards. Like you have to do it. But it's a problem. And luckily we have ways like this to deal with it. Round two, I'm against an old friend, Julien, who's been playing for a really long time. We've been playing together for years now, and he's playing the stuff that he wanted to play. He wanted to play Argus before it rotates, and he's playing as well Adam. And we played first as the Adam, and his Adam went really aggressive. He got a Bologna from HQ and was tagged, and he took 2 tags on the run and couldn't clear all the tags, and then saw with Find the Truth, there's a second Bologna, excuse me, on top of R&D. So he decides, F it, I'm gonna just float 2 tags, hope I don't get boomed, and steal 6 points. And at that point, it's really difficult to play the game. I did manage to clear all his resources with an all-seeing eye, but at that point, it's really hard because he can't bluff into the remote server, and he's on game point. And that one actually is the one game I lost the day. And he played it perfectly. Like he realized I have to take risks on, and that's a big thing about these sort of decks. Kind of like controlling the message. At some point, you're going to take tags, and at some point, you're going to have to try and close the game before exchange of information takes it away from you. Then we swapped over to Argus versus Az, and by turn 4, turn 5, I got 3 tech traders and 2 fermenters on the table, and I had about 25,
Oof.
30 credits, and he scored out
Yeah,
an
of course.
only a hostile, I think, and he conceded. Just because he thought there was no way he could do it, because his deck is all about getting a credit lead. He just like would value tempo out what's it called? Economic warfares, and still the credit lead was huge. So that's not gonna work out. Cool. How did your first 2 rounds? Do you want to talk about it or?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk a little bit. So my first round was against Frank. I wish I remembered the games a bit better. Like I did sweep Frank, and I don't think they were like completely dominant victories,
Okay.
if I remember correctly. They were like they were close games, but I managed to pull ahead in either of them. The second round was against Yannick, and we split. And those were arguably even tighter. I feel like there was a runner split, and
Mhm.
I should take a note because I feel like I misplayed my corp pretty badly. Like I was
Oh,
playing it way too slow when it's a rush deck, and I'm like, I should have been more brazen. I should have been putting out stuff
what were you
just
playing
naked
against?
sometimes. This was Yannick. Let me see if we can see his.
Yeah, I can pull it up. At least the thing, because that's like such a big thing. Is so many of the decks again. There's still everyone's still on like 3 pad tap, 3 Rezeki. Like you really have to go quick all the time. You cannot afford to sit back as a corp. Yeah, Nick was on Steve as well. Oh, we lost Pat for a second. Hey, Lanza, how's it going? How do the tourneys work with an odd number of
Mhm.
players?
Yeah.
Sorry, Pat, we lost you for a second. Just real
No,
quick.
in fact,
You're back, you're back. Lanza, so if there's an odd amount of players on the first round, somebody just randomly gets a bye, which means you don't play and it counts as 2 wins. So that's
mhm.
generally good for you, as admittedly you want to play Netrunner, but those wins don't give you a high strength of schedule, which is an issue potentially. So you get 2 wins, but the system doesn't think your opponent was that good because you didn't play anyone. Then for every subsequent round, they look at whoever has the lowest standing, and that person gets the bye, which helps them because they get 2 wins, push them back in. So like if you're in last place, you get 2 free wins, and it kind of throws you back into the tournament. You can only get the bye once. You can't get it twice. So if you are still the last person the next round over somehow, they won't give you a second bye. But that's the unfortunate nature of odd numbers. There's just people sitting around every round. They just really just watch someone play. Cactus,
Mhm.
how's it going? Evening.
Yeah, I'm looking at Frank's deck. Oh yeah, Frank was smoke. And I so against in my first round against smoke as sportsman, like that's when the rush really worked perfectly because I think I was on 5 points by the time he had his
Number
anything
curve.
close to
Yeah.
his stealth break set up. I'm like, okay, well now I just have to make him waste resources on a one bad run, and
Okay.
then I can install and score, and then that's what I did. So that's how that one went.
Real quick, Xtorn says, wait, Netrunner buys give you poor SOS. I think they give you average strength of schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Sanguine
Oh
says
really?
they actually don't change your strength of schedule. Yeah, I don't think they have a huge impact. They don't give you like garbage strength of schedule, but they don't give you a high strength of schedule. I think it's the average strength of schedule, but that is actually something that's changed throughout the history of Netrunner between FFG and FFG and FFG and then Nisei. So it's always been a slightly different.
Hmm.
Oh, they literally aren't counted, so it has no impact on your strength of schedule, which
Oh, and okay,
is
well that makes sense.
that's honestly fine, probably.
Mhm.
Okay, it doesn't calculate at all. How's it going, Whitest?
Good night, Daijin.
Hey, Daijin, good night. Cool, good to know.
Um, yeah, you want to talk about round three?
Yeah, so round 3, I'm against Roberto. Roberto is Roberto's been on this channel. Roberto has been playing Naren for a really long time. I went to Worlds exclusively with Roberto 1 year. Had a fantastic time. He's a great dude, and he
He's
came
my
out.
rival for your sidekick on the channel.
Mhm, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'd rather we not talk about him in too like positive terms, but we can.
yeah.
You beat him, so that's what's important.
Yeah, so he's playing the good stuff, right? Like he wants to show up, he always wants to compete. And so he basically got a 60 card max deck from Worlds and a CTM deck close to what he would want to play. So we're looking at CTM with Boom and like
Mm.
I don't think there was Malia, what's it in there? Malia Zaloka in there. I think it was just CTM with Boom and then all the like things that you'd expect. It was a really weird game because I hadn't played against CTM with this Aztec specifically, and my economy was okay. I think I got some early tech traders, but I did not draw into Miss Bones for like the first half of the game. I went into diversion him pretty soon on, and boomerang into diversion, and so he ended up resing 3 daily business show just to duck the diversion. So for the
Hmm.
whole game, he was drawing 4 on mandatory, bottoming 3. And I was like, "I can't deal with
Yeah,
that.
the
Nobody
ultimate
scored any
filter.
agendas. I can't deal with that." And I'm hoping that's gonna catch up to him because there's no way
Mhm.
he's gonna grab agendas into hand. So I'm gonna wait until the mid game when the deck like gets back up the top because I don't think he was playing Maryland, so he wasn't shuffling his deck actively. So that I could kind of capitalize on that. And it worked out. Some point, I kept his money down, but then he scored an AR enhanced security, and then he started spamming on the table really hard, and I could not find my miss bones, and my money was kind of drying up a bit. So I was just setting up, kind of getting ready for a late game that I thought would capitalize on Stargate. I did clot out one of his agendas that he tried to score out, or I think he clotted through. We were arguing about whether he gave me enough time to react, and he totally did. But he scored some agendas off the table and scored an AR enhanced security off of a Sansan on top of a Mumbet virtual tour, and I still couldn't deal with that. And eventually, at some point, I realized I had to deal with that. I clotted out the second agenda, which was a Beal, and then I ran the remote server. And then that's when Roberto realized that his remote server of IP block into IP block really wasn't going to do it, especially when I was keeping around specifically sports hoppers just to get my link up. So I had 3 link. So I was getting through those for free. I was dealing with what's her name? I never remember the name of that teacher that causes a trace when an agenda scored or stolen.
Not Aryabhata.
No, chat will get
But
us
yeah,
there.
I faced her as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and she
She's
traces
been around
based on the
forever.
advancement clause. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
since Katara anyway.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, but she's been like a mainstay of competitive CTM decks. Amani Sanai, thank you, Grape. How's it going?
Mm.
Also skip on. Hey, hey, back for stream. So that was a bit of that was going back and forth, and I can get to game point, and then at that point I realized I have to go tag me, just to close the game out, because we're getting to points, and this is the point in the time where I think the deck is full of agendas. Roberto has like infinite money because his stuff has been going for a pretty big time, so I just put down my Abigail, and so I can bypass the toll booth that gets up on R&D, and then I put down my Stargate, and then after 2 turns, all the Jacksons have been out, or the Spin Doctors have been out because it's been a long game, and I can get 2 agendas into the bin and close the game off. It was a really wild game, really down to the line, down to the wire. It was very, very, very fun. CTM is still like so stressful, and there was like
Yeah.
you get that feeling like I was running a remote server to last click because I have a flip switch, so I want to trash multiple things. Once you get your miss bones down, you want to trash multiple things in a turn against controlling the message. Because controlling the message says the first time a turn that you trash a card, installed card, trace 4 to take a tag. And so you want to trash one thing, take the tag, and then trash multiple things, and then clear the tag. That's how you can get the best value out of it. And the last click, I'm running an upgrade, and then I realized right after I committed to access, I can clear one tag clicklessly with flip switch. But then I realized if there's a prize sec in the remote server, I will float the tag, and that'll be a disaster because he can trash my tech traders, and I'll have no economy. Luckily, nobody's playing Prisec for some reason. Everyone's playing Mumbed Virtual Tour, which I do think the Prisec should be weaved in there every once in a while. And so I get away with it there. The second game, we have to go pretty fast because the CTM took a while, and he's playing like good stuff Max, and this sort of deck actually has a good matchup against Max because Max has to set up and it takes some time and he can go pretty fast. So I think I like double seamless launched out of Bologna in like turn 3,
Hmm.
and then seamless launched out a what's it called, remastered a couple turns later. And from that point, I'm just waiting to top deck a 3-2 while still having a lot of stuff to put in the remote server like Rashida's and Vladimir that force him to check, which is good because they can't just build up like a Doom rig. You have to do something. But it was a quick game. But that was a huge relief because now I'm on 5-1 and I got 1 round left. Pat, how's your round 3?
My round 3 was against Mark Alex, who is running Built to Last and Adam. And I think this is the first round where I felt like I was completely just dismantled. Like I was not drawing what I needed at all, and
These are the
and
decks,
yeah,
eh?
I was just taken apart, basically.
So yeah, Mark Alex, I was surprised this is Diogen. You might know on Netrunner DB. He's been a pretty prolific poster. He's been posting a lot of stuff. He actually posted his deck. We've talked about this before. So I knew his deck list when I was sitting down against him. He's like, you know this deck. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a huge help because there's actually kind of a mystery when you're playing against these fast events decks whether they have kill pressure or not in them.
Mhm.
So it's good to know, and I know about a bit of his ice suite, so that definitely helps a lot. Um, and yeah, talking about that, that's my last round going into this. Is I'm playing against Diogen, and so I'm sitting across from him, and I know his deck, so he's playing fast advance. And this was, I think, the best game of the day because he's
Hmm.
just going so fast. He's scoring out incredibly quickly. I'm playing this deck, which does have good tech against fast advance, but it takes you a while to set up. And we had this wild back and forth where like he tries to score out early. He's like, okay, let's see how this goes, and pushes out an Oaktown renovation behind an ice wall. And I'm like, I can deal with that pretty easily. So I just boomerang and steal it. So I'm on 2 points. I think
Mhm.
he scored out a hostile and then something else from hand. I'm just running the top of R&D. I get up to 6 points and he's on 3 points. And I feel pretty comfortable. I also am been trashing a lot of stuff he's been putting on the table. The wall to walls have to go. I leave a Malapert data vault up for a bit too long, which is a bit annoying. I probably should have trashed
Oh,
this
yeah,
way
that was
sooner.
rough for me as well. He was able to just chain one victory condition into another
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, this thing is actually quite strong. And I'm feeling pretty comfortable because I'm drawing through my deck. I'm set up with a prognostic hue loop and a masterwork, so I can draw and clicklessly install my board, which is fantastic. And I have a Stargate in hand. So I'm like, I know how I can close the game. I'm on 6 points. I just need to find a single agenda. And so he goes to fast events in a remote server. And right before he puts the last advancement on it, I can't stop it with Claude. I pop my sports hopper I have installed because I'm
Hmm.
thinking if that's an Ozef protocol and I have 3 cards in hand and he hits my Stargate, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like I can't let that happen. So I draw up to 6 cards in hand. He scores an Ozef protocol and hits my Stargate, and then a diversion of funds from my hand. Like the 2 cards that actually could
Mm,
have done something on the
yeah,
board
yeah.
state. So now I'm like totally tilted. I can't figure out what to do. He's now suddenly on 5 points. I'm aware that he can win and just he has enough money to biotic out into something. So I just have to keep it down. He audacity, so he has no cards in hand besides the card that he pulled back with Malapert. So I have to lock the top of the deck. So I'm running the top of the deck. I'm seeing the top of my deck with Prognostic Key Loop. And then that keeps going for a couple turns. He keeps drawing up. He's drawing 3 cards a turn and just like waiting until he has the right piece. And I'm drawing. And then I see on my last run of the turn, I see a clot on the top of my deck with Prognostic Key Loop. And I'm thinking like, wait a second, I'm just gonna stop
Oh,
drawing and play this out. So I
right,
ran
it's on the top of
R&D.
your deck.
Yeah, it's on top of
So
my
you
deck, right?
interesting, interesting.
So I run R&D. I see the top of my deck. I run HQ as many times as I can because there's what's it called? There's this deck has Forma Carry, which I'm not a big fan of because like
Mhm.
this doesn't end the run. Like you got diversion through this or in the early game, and like you need something that ends the run. Like I got a bunch of free runs on a HQ because of this thing. Because your cards don't matter in this fast advance matchup. Like you can take the net damage. This actually even helped me because it got my paperclip into the bin, which didn't matter.
Hmm.
So I'm just running HQ as many times as I can until I run out of cards, and then I realize there's nothing in there. I can't find it, so I'm just clicking for credits, which is like a really weird thing to do in the matchup. And so he tries to score out in the remote server, and I say, "Excuse me." And then with 1 click left, I pull the clot off the top of the deck with prognostic Q loop, and he's like, "What?" And then he tries to ice it up with an ice wall to hold on for one
Mm.
turn, and I get through with the paperclip, and that's that. The second half, he's playing an Adam, and I do think that he played the beginning really, really, really quite well. He just kind of ignored my board state. He just played all 3 Rezekis, he played 2 pad taps, and he just got fully set up. And at that point, it's really quite scary when they're gaining 3 credits at the beginning of your turn, and they're going to get 2 more whenever they run. So I'm scoring out, but I only score out an early Bologna. I can't find an early agenda that'll actually let me fast advance, which is unfortunate. But I get into a situation where he ends his turn on a tag again. We talked about how Adam struggles to deal with like a ping into a Prisec remote server, which I set up for a couple turns. And so he gets a tag. I clear all of his stuff with an all-seeing eye. I wipe the board. He still gets 1 pad tap on the table, but by then I can fast advance at the last points. But it was really close. It was like 5-7 at that point. He has a misdirection as well, which is wild. And that will do it. It was only 4 rounds, so we went
Yeah.
7-1 there. We dropped the one NBN game, the one Corp game. Pat, how's your last round? Your last round we got to watch a bit because I think your games went a
Yeah,
bit
no, but
long.
my last time was actually really, really great. This was against Scott, and I remember this much more clearly. Uh, I first was sportsmental against Adam, and I was not drawing any agendas, and
Oof.
it was painful. I was only drawing ice, but he was setting up while I was not scoring, and that was bad for me. And I think my one of my misplays of that game was I should have been I was drawing like at least 1 click every turn, but I should have been drawing much more aggressively.
Yeah.
And there were times when I intentionally like left a spin doctor on the table just to frustrate his find the truth runs.
Hmm.
Like he would run archives or something to see what's on top of R&D, and then he'd run it. And so that's when I res the spin doctor. I pull the top card. I now have the agenda in hand. That's useful. But I should have just been using it to draw more. Like I should have just
Oh,
been
you
scoring
kept
no
it.
matter what.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I was putting this here as a
But you
safety
can,
net against.
yeah. Sorry. No, a lot of times what I do against that, because again, I played against Adam all day, is that you would still drop with the spin doctor, but you'd leave it there and just have to shuffle as like the anti find the
Of
truth tech,
course.
right?
Yeah.
But like
Uh,
I totally agree with you. That's like the biggest thing I learned is like I don't understand what to do when everybody is running like 3 pad tap, 3 Rezeki. Like you can't, like you have to go very quick. Like I don't see a way
mhm.
around it. Unless you like play the entire opposite where you like are a glacier and you go to time.
Yeah. And of course, the second game, which is the game you saw, that one was pretty intense. Like he managed to ice up pretty significantly. He was playing Jemison against my Steve, and he was not doing Jemison things. I was trashing like Oberth protocols that I saw and stuff like that. And I managed to get me lucky a few times diving into a remote, I think, to grab one of the 3 2s, and then he scored an Azef and knocked some useful things out of my hand. That was pretty frustrating. And then it came down to the moment that everyone saw where I was on 4 points, he was on six.
Yeah.
And I did the good run, the good turn. I had Swift and I ran 3 times. And I'm like, okay, deep dive, let's do it. I just need to see 2 agendas. I know you have 1 pointers, I know you have 2 pointers. I'm pretty sure there's only one pointer left. So I know there's 2 agendas. I can win this. He's like, okay, here we go. He counts off 8 cards, flips them 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah,
everyone's
I was
like,
watching.
the, like it's like a string section, like ramping up, like, whoa, and then he goes 7, 8, and they're not no agendas seen with deep dive. And I don't know. I probably seemed a lot madder than I really was because I was like, that was really fun. I honestly had a lot of fun with the way he presented that.
That's like
But
the Hushik
obviously, like,
issue where you whiff once and then you never play the card again.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah, which is not right.
yeah. Yeah, because I think, like, the rest of the tournament, I was playing deep dive even when I didn't have Swift or it wasn't an ideal turn,
Sure.
and, like, just to grab 1 agenda, and that was good enough. And then this time when it really mattered, man, when it really mattered, uh,
Yeah.
it whiffed completely. And then, like, we did actually keep playing for another few rounds.
Oh, no
Sorry,
way.
yeah, another few rounds of play after that. He did win in the end. I think he just locked me out. Like, I made a few runs that didn't end up getting anything. No, no, our last turn, uh I made a few like Hail Mary runs, like twice against R&D, once against HQ, and on 2 of those runs, he triggered border control to stop me,
Yikes.
just to keep me from grabbing the agenda that he and I both knew was probably in HQ.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was frustrating, but like he was smart of him to like leave those until they really really mattered, and that's when they did. Yeah, so that was my tournament experience, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wish
Um,
I think you can see this a bit better on Cobra than you can here. But like the distribution is like actually pretty good. When you look at like the meta, and again, like this is Star Championship. It's not like the most competitive event. There's a lot of like newer players, but there's a lot of people as well trying. But when you're
mhm,
looking here, Adam was the most represented, but then we have a bit of everything. On the corp side, we have a bit of everything. Jinteki, I think we only had one, but I think the ID breakdown was wild. Because on the corp side, the most like no ID had more than two representation. So
yeah,
like we had
and
basically
Jemison was one of
yeah,
them, which is very
just was
fun.
one of them, which is wild. But we had 13 different IDs represented from 15 players, if I'm not mistaken, on the corp side, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool. Obviously, I wish there was more Kentucky. It's too bad there wasn't, but
Yeah.
still pretty great. Um, I also really like the prize support in this for this kit.
Yeah, it's good.
I like the really memey piece in our time. I wouldn't mind if they did more kind of silly alt arts like that in the future.
Mhm.
Not for every pack, but like once a year to have like I don't know women screaming at cat, but it's Kit screaming at self-modifying code or something stupid like that.
Oh, right,
Like I
because
think
this
that
is from the Office, right? Yeah.
The Office, exactly, yeah.
Sengun takes notes.
The falsified credentials is also really good art. That
Yeah.
looks really that's really nice.
Yeah, I got this on a playmat. I didn't realize this was it. This is quite cool.
Yeah, and then consulting visit is so-so. I'm not a super big fan, but it's spooky, and I do like that. More spookiness in Netrunner, please. Uh,
This looks exactly like, there's a Lord of the Rings card with, like, 3 people coming out of the fog. It looks
oh
exactly
my
like this.
god.
Yeah. Yeah, we finished our first cycle, just yesterday. It's
Oh,
good.
good for you.
Yeah. That would have been the moment. How's it go, Macaroni? How's the holiday? Have been the moment to go, "Wait, I think we'll use the turning wheel tokens as well." Dump them in. I thought ASI was long gone for the meta. Yeah, nobody plays All Seeing Eye, but, like, everyone's, like, very heavily resource based. I don't know why not. It's quite good. Also, like, Nisei said they'd be doing this for a while, but including, like, cards from other events. This was from a Worlds, if I'm not mistaken, but there's a couple of these that are now in your packs that you can get out, that you can
Yeah,
have get raffled in.
I think I didn't take any because I thought I had these already, but I didn't. So let's talk to John and see if he still has a bunch of those.
The Dirty
I'll probably
Laundries?
yeah, he must have had a bunch of those left over. I'll
No,
probably
no, there
ask him
was only,
quickly.
like, 9 of these. These were raffled off.
Those are the ones that wrapped
These
up.
are the
I
rare
see that
ones,
that
yeah. I think this is the one that you
right.
have the least of, yeah, there's only a couple of these.
Right, it was the Peace in Our Time
Piece of time, we had like
that
300. So we
we
had
only had
like
so many extras, yeah.
we had enough players to do like double prize support, but we have so
Mhm,
many of these. And then Nisei says you can't keep these. Like you have to give them out. So like he's like anybody, you need to take these. Like I cannot go home with these Peace in Our Times.
yeah,
So like it's like anybody can take them. So people leave with like 6 or 9 of them.
mhm.
Daijin says
Yeah,
shout out for the
I
playmat
took
of
extras
Andre.
just
Sorry,
for
Pat.
present. So no, I just say I did take extras just to give out to
Yeah.
other new players who weren't able to come to the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Dej says shout out for the playmat of Andre. This is not something I've shown on the channel yet because I wanted to actually redo this as like the intro screen of the show, but I haven't
Mhm.
yet. But I guess I'll mention it. This was a couple years ago. Maddie, my partner, she commissioned for an anniversary a couple years ago a print of me streaming from Matt Sellinger. So there's actually an image of me in like Netrunner art world of me as a streamer wearing like a futuristic vest, and it's great. I love it. I haven't showed it to really anyone. This is the first event we've had in person in a while, so I have it on a playmat and I bring it out on a playmat. And specifically, also somebody told me halfway through the tournament, like, "Why do you have it facing you? Like, turn it around. Do you know
That
what
was
you
me,
look?"
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Pat. Like, you know what you look like. Put it the other way. So I dropped it down facing it the other way towards Diogene, and Diogene took his playmat with Leela on it and also put it the other way as well, which is
Yeah.
quite fun.
Mhm.
Have to proxy Nexus some of those never enough dirty laundries. I don't think Nisei wants you to proxy Nexus full arts, their prize support. I think they actually said specifically don't do that, unfortunately. Whether it's
Yeah.
unfortunately or not,
Th
but yeah, they're pretty clear that they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. Like, you don't wanna like, these are supposed to feel special to people, and you
Yeah,
don't want to but, if someone showed up with proxied alt arts, I'm not gonna be bent out of shape.
sure. Cat says fell out of favor when Val was big and never really came back. Yeah, Val and also
Yeah.
like deep data mining, not deep data mining, sorry, mining accident people are playing. There's a reason I was saying I fell out, but like it's still is one of the best single tag punishments in the game. This and exchange of information, I think, are the best tag punishments in the game. And I love a
Mm.
deck that plays both of them just so that you can punish people who are stepping slightly out of line, especially when this deck has public trail. Like no one respects public trail. Do you have 8
Oh, yeah.
credits? Public trail, all seeing eyes sucks. Followed it up by hard hitting news if they actually do pay 8. Like it's so good as long as you can afford it. And admittedly, one of these will be 2 credits cheaper when they take the tags, but it's fantastic. Okay.
I will be right back, okay?
Yeah, totally.
Just vamp. Make up a story.
No, it's cool. We're gonna start with the deck list of the week. Real quick on Nisei.net. Sorry that we haven't played any games yet. We're gonna get there right now. Nisei put out a championship survey for this year. It basically is asking you questions. I've done this a while ago, saying like, what's the chance that you would come to Worlds if it was in Toronto, based off of like COVID stuff. And the question is like, what could they do? Would you be more likely to come in online or come in person? Fill this out. I have no doubt Nisei is going to be looking at that data to figure out what the best way they can run Worlds this year is. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Okay. Proxy Nexus has a gazillion options for alt arts. Didn't realize that was an issue. Oh no, for alt arts, it's totally fine. Actually, maybe not. I don't know. I thought you're talking about make playing cards where like people make their alt arts, but like I know Nisei specifically doesn't want you to proxy their cards, their play support. You're really just going to tell us how your sweet commissioned MZ art and not show us? Yeah, let me get it. You're right, though. 1 second. I just rather show this one. It's like a full art. We can show digitally instead of like this, which is a bit washed out. But this thing's great. Also, Maddie, she did great. She went 4-4 in the tournament. I think that's actually a pretty good placement, but that was, I think, a lot better than she expected she would do. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go to the wide shot, Pat, so I'm going to lose you for just 1 second.
Okay.
I can still hear you. We just can't see you. Hold on. There's like a lot of really fun details here. So there's a click for credit on the back in my Firefox. One of the windows actually is me playing on Jinteki.net, and it's me playing a 419, what's it called deck? Security Nexus deck, which is one of my favorites. We got chat on one side. There's cameras, my jar of water, and there's like cactuses around. It's really, really great. It's an absolutely fantastic present. I've had this for a really long time, and I want to animate it the way that we've animated the what's it called? The easy mark guy, but it's a lot more complicated and it's a lot higher res as well. So we're gonna get it there, but it's absolutely fantastic. I'm super stoked. I actually have extras of these because the printing process to
That's
get them
right.
on playmats was like not easy. So I have a couple extra. I don't know what to do with it because I don't know if anybody wants to like play a playmat with my face on it because I feel like an absolute like weirdo. But if y'all are interested in that, we could probably get those to people. Where did I put the tube? Oh, it's there.
I think that that would be it's a weird enough object that people in this chat right now would be interested in, like, a raffle or something.
Yeah, maybe. But I have a bunch of them. Like I can sign them. 100% we use one of those. That's cool to know. But like it's really weird for me to like hand out an image of my face to people. You know what I mean?
No, no, it's like it's good for you like I was saying, you go to an audition and you're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
here's a" some people bring an 8x10 glossy, you bring a neoprene playmat.
Yeah, yeah.
You stand out.
You definitely
You're
do
gonna be
stand
picked
out.
to play Santa in the next Disney, Christmas movie.
It's also another thing, like, I can't put it up on, like, we can't sell it. Like, I can't make a playmat where you could buy it because I don't have, like, the rights, I think, to distribute the art. But I
Hmm.
definitely can, like, give those away. I'd play with that playmat. I would definitely use that. Okay, that's good to know. Cool to know.
Should I get a playmat of my face and call it a Mlaypat?
I see what you did. It took
No.
me a while, but yeah, I think so. This is my
That's
main
alright.
plot. I need some Netrunner playmats. The Mean Lady Virus mat is the one I'm currently leaning towards. Yeah, playmats are good. We're also like, oh man, there's so many players here in Montreal that have like extra playmats that are like
Mhm.
bringing them to events as like extra price support, which I think is super appreciated. Okay, that was the event. Again, huge shout outs to Silver Goblin, to Pat, and to John for organizing all this. To everyone who came out, we had a lot of newer players, like people coming out who've never played Standard, who were just like, "Give me a deck, we'll figure it out." And I think everyone had a
I
great
was
time.
so happy about that, like, that's there are a lot of players who only played startup
Mhm.
in the Montreal meta so far in what few, meetups we've had, and I was telling people, like, "Hey, everyone's out of practice. Don't feel bad or awkward playing standard, like,
No,
the
ask
people who play
questions.
standard are not good at standard, so
Yeah,
you can come in and it'll be fine, don't feel pressured.
yeah.
Next time feel pressure,
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
but yeah,
Maybe I'll turn that into a VTuber phase streams. I need to get to that at some point. But yeah, that's a good idea. I actually have too
that's
many
pretty good.
playmats, just not Netrunner playmats. Need to be on brand. Yo, I was the guy showing up to Flesh and Blood events with Netrunner playmats, and no embarrassment. Gotta let
Mhm.
people know your roots. Okay, this is the deck. I think John was actually playing this at the event. Have you seen this thing?
Yes, he might have been. He was playing lat, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he's playing a lot. This is basically another combo deep dive deck, as they all are. 5 out of the ashes. This one does some cool stuff, though. It has what's it called? Paula's Cafe 3x. So the idea is that this is actually a really good enabler for like the super dig turns because you can pull cards off of this only when you need them. So basically you put all your programs on there, your Oilers, your Gausses, which are all very good the turn you install them, or at least better, and then you go off and you just don't go super deep and you deep dive, hopefully steal 300 points, win the game on the spot. But you also have some extra tech. You have 2 dummy box, which is a really cool inclusion. This works really well to protect the Paolo's Cafe from something like an above the
Mm.
law or any like resource trashing, which is pretty narrow in the meta, but above the law does exist. And it also keeps your pat taps around, which is kind of cool. Like I don't know if you're ever
Oh,
gonna try
that's
and dummy box a pat tap.
yeah, that's very frustrating and cool.
Wait,
I
actually,
like
maybe
that.
it won't. Prevent an install card from being trashed by the corp. Pad tap, only the corp can use. No, it checks out. It checks
Yeah,
out.
it's the corp doing it.
Yeah. Um,
Good evening, Nelson.
hey Nelson. I rock a Lion Clan L5R playmat. There's again, it's good stuff. Show me your roots. I also have Cyber Trooper Talent, so when things come in, they come in bigger. And I love the idea. And I saw this. Maddie was playing a fast advance Wayland deck against this, and like having Claude and Palad's Cafe is really awkward. Like, sure, they
Oh, yeah.
might pay extra credits to get us on the table, but it means they always have Claude on deck, which is really cool. But they only have a single simul chip, so you want to bait it out once, and it's good. You can also put multiple boomerangs on your Palace Cafe because it takes hardware and programs. So you can install them mid-run, which means you can actually boomerang 3 times in the same run, shuffle them all 3 back, which means you're
Is that
pretty.
because they're not installed, so the
Yeah.
unique clause doesn't force them to be trashed.
And I think they'll all fire from archives at the same time because again, the unique clause only matters when they're installed. Does Palace protect
I don't
against all
think
Sing Eye?
yeah,
Yes.
doesn't, but Dummy Box does,
Yeah,
right?
sorry. Like dummy box, you can trash a card to prevent Palace Cafe, but then you can lose the dummy box. I do think if they mass do them, you can choose the order that they're trashed in, if I'm not mistaken. This is something that came up back in the day with like not Sakon, I guess a dummy box. I forget the order.
No, with Fall Guy.
Oh, with Fall Guy, yeah, right.
Fall Guy and Paparazzi and stuff like that.
Yes, with Fall Guy and All Sing Guy, you could actually use the Fall Guy to prevent the trashing of one of them. My Netrunner Playmate is an old Reina Roja mat I picked up along with the collection I bought. Ooh, Claire. I probably have that Reina Roja one if I'm thinking it is the one that I'm thinking it is, which is a good one. Remember that one weird Reina alt art where she's like Alice in Wonderland styled, like the Red Queen? There's like no other
What?
alt art where that was like that interesting. Reina.
Let me go to decky.net and see in their card
Yeah, this
viewer.
one. It was like it's like a very
Oh, this is like
C.S.
her in battle.
Lewisian.
Oh no, that one. Yes, yes. That is a great alt art. I love
This is
that
a
one.
really cool alt art. I'm a big fan of this one. But like there was never any other alt arts that were like that wildly evocative of style.
Mhm.
I use the Day Job playmat. Day Job playmat is like a classic favorite.
Oh yeah, the day job is the one I use.
Yeah,
It's my go-to.
Day Job is one of the best ones.
I mean, I someone once asked if they could trade for I think my kit playmat, and I was like, no, I don't think I can because this is the first playmat I ever actually won legitimately as a tournament winner.
I
When I won a Sword Champ, and I'm like, I can't give this one up. Almost any other playmat I own, I would give up, but this one represents the one time I was very good at Netrunner.
I think it's the same for me. I think that's the first playmat I actually won at a competition instead
Hmm.
of getting a raffle or whatever. Where that? The one where she's being arrested and a crowd is cheering her in the background. Yeah, 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 right, with like the tape. What is that card? It's not Lawyer Up. It's the other one where it's an Anarch card. It came from the
Yeah,
lunar cycle where she's getting arrested, and I think she has her
it's
fingers
not
up and
fault.
her hands behind her back. Or no, I'm thinking activist support. Thank you, Skipan.
Is that activist support? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. This is it, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's being forced into a car or something.
And the playback goes wider, so I think you see more of the crowd, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Cool. Is this a legal card? No, definitely not. Okay, let's do this. Let's deep dive. Itinerant protesters. I don't
I
think she's
want
on that
more of
one.
the I want more of the abstract Netrunner art on playmats. I want like wanton destruction playmat.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Um, I Nisei Maddie played with some of the Nisei sleeves that they sent. Oh, it's Brandon.
Hmm,
And like that
cool.
stuff is also I think a huge thing people would want.
Hmm.
Arcus. Cool. That's actually kind of hard for us to deep dive. We really need to win because we can't float all the tags.
Oh yeah.
Okay, opening hand. We have a dummy box boomerangs. None of these cards really we want. We want to
Wait,
basically
tell him I say hi too.
Pat says hi too. Okay.
My main memory of Brandon is the time he made fun of my height at a at like a regional at PD Cosmos. But I do still like the man.
What did he just walks up to you? It's just like you're shorter than I thought you were, or what?
No, I can't remember the context. I'm pretty sure he made like some deprecating joke about his site, and then said, "But at least I can reach the top shelf or something." And I'm like, "What does that
Oh.
even mean?" He's, I don't know. I was obviously devastated and had to be taken to the hospital to recover from the burn. But ooh, hey,
He's on Argus. We saw a bit of Argus on what's it called on the weekend. It didn't really get anything new, did it? Well, Azim, I guess, is fine.
Ixaran, thank you for the faith, but no, I'm short.
All right, we got a hostile scored. Bad publicity. We can do a lot with that, especially if we were running with Palace Cafe. But we're just going to set up and get everything on the table we can. We actually could just install a clot, honestly, because they're going to do stuff like this. And so that forces a purge out of them. I think here we want to... Do you think they're going to Dassy out here? Because otherwise we get like Claw daily casts, and then next turn we can Deuces Deuces. Like, I don't think we're going to
Hmm,
interact until... So I think we're going to just get the Claw down daily cast. We want to keep our money up for sure. Playmat
that
treasures from
sounds
Star
like
Wars Destiny, the top 8 at a prime regional. It's Kylo and Rey in Snoke's throne room fighting the guards. I'm not too
I'm
like
looking that up because that looks like it must be great art. Oh yeah, I see that here. That's a great shot.
Destiny's a dice one, right?
Yes.
Cool.
I mean that whole scene is basically my favorite part. That whole 10-minute stretch of time, my favorite part of any Star Wars movie, I think.
Oh, super cool. Did I ever tell you I judged the Destiny tournament?
No.
I organized. I was a like an organizer, like a runner for a Destiny tournament and an X-wing tournament. I don't know how to play any of those games. I think I did an okay job. I did not do a bad job.
Mhm.
All right, deuces. We'll draw 2 game. We could expose this and then run. Like, what could this be? If it's anything that ends the run, like that's a problem. So I think we're just gonna keep going. I think we just want to keep going faster than them. Since the centers were
I
open,
forget.
would a deep dive the first turn be a huge mistake? Yes, it would. Largely because if we access an agenda, we have to take a 2 meat damage or a tag. And then on top of that, we've run and we'll be on like 3 credits. And then it's just hard hitting
Mhm.
using us and we'll lose. So a big
Do
thing
we
of this
have
matchup is
much
to keep our credits up.
anti-tag? Do we have, like, a misdirection in this deck? I can't remember.
We probably do. We have Juice's Wild, which also helps as well. No, we don't have misdirection because we're going to try and win, right? We're going to try and win.
Oh, yeah.
We don't
I always
really.
forget. Yeah, that's your game plan, I
That's our game
guess.
plan, winning.
Not what I do.
Draw 2, gain 3. Oh, we only have 1 click left. That is a mistake. We'll put Beth down. If that's a Rashida, which is more likely, we'll get value out of this. We're going to throw out one of these. 1 dummy box is probably fine. The game with the dice, excellent game. Rest in peace. It looked cool. Our friend Benoit played it a fair bit, played it competitively as well.
Mhm.
Maybe Brandon's just going to score out here. Maybe that's like a Malapert. Yeah, just scoring out. Standoff. That's
Oh,
scary.
huh.
Trashes 1 installed card. That's how you play around Clot. They would gain 5 credits and draw a card. No, that's fine. So this is more likely that they're on Tithonium and Archer, stuff like that, which is actually hard for us to break.
Mhm.
We don't have a.
Remember when,
Mhm.
this card was so badly parsed
Yeah. It was
that it
so
was
much
that
more interesting.
it was such a cool card. It was a ridiculously cool card.
Yeah, it really was.
Mhm,
So a lot of people thought that you trash your opponent's stuff going back and forth into
mhm.
this until someone gave up. Unfortunately, you have to trash your own stuff, which, like, I guess.
But I love the brinksmanship and the way and Wayland just inviting it. It's great.
I didn't think that was in the meta. This card, it's not particularly, but it kind of makes sense in this sort of deck where if I access it, it's 0 points, but I still have to take 2 meat damage or attack. Like, it's good. But it's not a very common card. You generally see this in Argus and Jemison, if anything. Yeah, day 1 standoff was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We have
Much more fun than
Ankusa?
day 1 Endless Hunger.
No, Endless Hunger, there was never a mistake.
No, yeah, I guess it wasn't day 1, but someone, like,
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
complain at
No, it brought it
Brandon.
to Worlds.
Mhm.
But that was important. That was to learn something. The font on this card is also like way smaller than it should be, which is just like one of the printing errors
That
of the
that whole
cycle.
cycle
Yeah.
just
Just
filled with, like, bad editing.
bit of a mess. All right, Rashida, we're gonna get a pad tap. Brandon's on 16. We still have the Clod out, so like anything that he wants to score out, he has to score in server too. With the single ice here, like Archer is kind of reasonable, but if we're face checking it, it's not that bad for us. Titanium is actually quite bad, because it trashes resources. And Kaza newer JTF neuron activation. I have like used Ankusa only once or twice in my whole life. But it lets us deal with border controls on our like combo turn win. I feel like we're just not drawing enough. Like, this is the sort of deck that's pretty happy just jamming out in the remote server. So we have to go. We're gonna get probably 5 clicks. If not, we're gonna get 4 clicks on a card draw, which is good enough. And before not usable this game, it might not be. We're largely gonna put on Paolo's Cafe and call it a day. Okay, Prisec or anything else. Beth is gonna give us a click, which we're gonna use to draw a card regardless. Mayfly. We needed Palos like a year ago. Oh, that's actually quite bad.
Yes, it's not good. You don't wanna draw the diesel last.
No, this is actually quite bad. Do we respect above the law? Because this deck is running above the law. This is really ugly.
1 in 49,
We have a
I guess.
single simul chip. This is horrific. Oh, I forgot we're lat. Yeah, right. That's good. I totally forgot we're lat. We should have probably been worrying about that. Lat says if our cards match, at the end of our turn, we draw a card. Our cards in hand and their cards in hand. So Palos, we have 3 and 23, so we're likely to draw it on the diesel. And we've seen 1 deep dive. We have access to 3 out of the ashes. We could also preload a boomerang on here before we out of the ashes if we don't have a Palos, so then next turn we can go off. Do not pray to the RNG gods. Oh no. Okay, that's probably a border control, something annoying.
I did mean to sacrifice a drifter to the RNG gods before we started. That's on me.
I thought Drifter was a Netrunner card for a second. I couldn't figure it out.
It could be. That sounds like it. Well, I
Yeah, it
mean,
sounds like it would.
oh, they still have the hats on.
Yeah, they really do. I don't know when that's
I
gonna.
forgot. Yeah. No, it's let's just leave it. It's been a month. It's permanent now.
Okay, we have a Palas.
Paola's looks somehow more. It makes more sense in Paola's than anywhere else, and I like that. That's the jaunty little Chiriboga hat.
All right, 16 cards left. We're going fast. We're going fast enough, hopefully. We have the Palas
Yeah.
up. We have a resource in hand, so they can't above the lot. Looks like they're scoring out of food or a big old Atlas. And a big old Atlas can be annoying because they could always like pull agendas to HQ. And then we're not that good at running HQ.
The hat stays on during a run.
I wonder who did all the hat work. Like even the lady in the back has a hat, which is great.
Oh, true, yeah. Oh, speaking of leaving your hat on,
Mhm.
did you know that in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Randy Newman plays that character who I don't want to spoil for people who haven't seen it?
I don't think I know who Randy Newman is.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm not going to do my perfect impression because I don't want us to have like a takedown on Twitch. But
I'm
trust
thinking
me, I can
Randy
do a
Newman
perfect.
is the guy who sings the "This is not right." You got a friend in me.
No, yeah, that's him,
That is
right?
Randy Newman. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's Randy Newman.
We could lose here. No, unlikely. No, I had no idea. Does he act? Why is he in it?
He voices a character.
Okay. This idea is so great. It's drawn 3 cards. Checks notes. Good thing no other idea exists. That's 5 cards small and has no other text. Second, I have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, I think you're totally right.
I
We
mean, yeah, Lat is underwhelming. Lat could have been way more interesting.
okay, that's really good. So now we can pop off next turn. Also, this isn't this Mayfly and Run on the remote server? Maybe. I'm hoping that we don't have to. I think you're right. We probably could have,
Hmm.
but I think we're just gonna try and combo off next turn. Ooh, do we install Guru? No, there's like no chance that Brandon's playing like a Anemone, right? I just like if we run here in surprise tech, it's really bad if we lose a deep dive. But I'm just trying to ignore everything and just like one dimensional deck go.
Anemone would be interesting.
It's
I
kind of
can
cute.
see why if you just want to like War of Attrition the runner.
How much influence is Anemone? 3 or
Good
2?
question. Anemone
Oh, it is
is
above the law.
2.
Sick. Trash. So that's why you put that in your deck.
Mhm.
All right. So we did get the above the law. And we prevented the trashing Apollo's Cafe, which would have cost us the whole damn game. There are 8 credits, so they could probably res both ice. If it's a Tithonium, yeah, they still res it. But we're just going to try and win here. If we hit a snare on HQ, it's bad. We didn't run, so they
Yep.
can't Salem's hospitality us. Grumans, you can take meat instead of a tag 1 or 2 times. We're hoping to just win. Like we probably don't have
Yeah.
clicks to put this thing down. Like we're just gonna go. Well, we're just gonna take 3 tags. That'll be fine.
What's the worst that could happen? We're going to get 7 points in one turn.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of hard when there's 5 agenda points out.
Oh, did we get? No, we didn't get click from Beth. We could have done 2 deep dives potentially.
Yeah, no, they're not below 15. We can't. Brandon's considering it. Unres dice on HQ, 8 credits. We can get through just about everything. Sentry is the only problem. We'd have to Mayfly or Boomerang it, and we can Boomerang pretty elegantly through an Archer if we need to. Trebuchet, no problem. Surveyor would be pretty bad here. We trace through it. Pretty bad for them, I mean. People really just stopped playing Surveyor. Nobody plays Surveyor
That would,
anymore.
yeah. Tap's forehead would be another good meme for a Netrunner card.
Yeah. All right, it's a mouse. We can't take the damage. I think we will Boomerang this. Because then we can also let the credit fire so we get credits. For 5 credits, there's no real breakpoint. I don't think there's ice on 5 credits that we're scared of. So giving them a credit here doesn't matter. We could have also taken the tag if we're like committed to
Tags
taking the tag.
forehead.
Tags for it.
How do we win on 2 agendas? Well, we're not going to. We're going to win on more. agendas.
Economic
Oh no, this
warfare.
way. Okay, we can potentially get more than one deep dive in.
Yeah, we
That'd be
can
fun.
get 3 deep dive in.
Mhm.
But like we need all of them to connect at least minorly. Oh, this is not a problem. Barely an inconvenience.
Hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. He drove me home from X-Men Apocalypse.
We probably could have given them credit there. So we want to get an agenda here or a trashable. We have bad publicity. Archer, good to know. Run archives.
All right, here we go.
And now we just hit the button. We could run HQ again, but we can't really break the mouse list. If we actually installed the oiler, that probably would have been correct. Because we could run HQ one more time. That's actually probably correct. It's not to boomerang it, but to install the oiler. Because this is
Yeah, for
0
sure.
credits, so we could have got another access. So that's kind of on us.
Mhm.
Okay. We have an just an I was gonna say a project Ausilus because of Audacity and Atlas. So we're gonna take that. We have to take the tag. No. Oaktown renovation.
Town. Uh-oh.
Tag.
Oh, well,
No.
someone's about to get Patricked. Well, no, this one might have everything.
Sing X-Men is tight. We lose. Good game.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's
Oaktown,
that's
that's
what
it, huh?
happens out here. We'll take a tag.
Tight, tight, tight. Mhm.
Oh wait, no. We have one more. We can run R&D and win.
Sure.
Okay, wait, no.
Can we
Hold
run?
on.
Okay,
It's we
wait, is
either
server
run
2 definitely an
R&D.
upgrade?
Yeah. We either that or we put down Guru. I think we put down Guru.
Sure. We can survive 2 hits of something.
Yeah.
Unless he scores an agenda, so.
We have Clot.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we definitely just put Guru down. Because money is an issue, right? And also we can protect this from being trashed from tags because of dummy box, because we did keep a resource. Now we could have won there. Yeah, if they're on 1 credit, it's like really hard. They could economic warfare us spitefully, but like still, they'd have to credit up into high profile target. So Guru will survive. Yeah, everyone chats like Guru. How many too big to fail are gone? I think we saw 2 in the deck. But even if they too big to fail, trash Guru will survive. Economic warfare, spiteful. Too big to fail, spiteful. Atlas for HPT. Did Brandon miss this? They used the Atlas token as well. Do we pay 4 credits to prevent Guru? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the dummy box helps here. So we're not dead.
Oh, that means one time we can leave Guru up?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true.
So
Cool.
now they have to trash Guru, which means if we draw resources, we're fine. Atlas for 2B to fail might be dangerous. Yeah, they had an end. They actually pulled out the meat damage. Okay. Beth gives us a credit. Yeah, let's run R&D. We still have Clot. Like, this is going to be an awkward game. Too big to fail? Uh-oh. Oh, no!
Uh-oh. Oh, that's too bad.
That's
They're
bad.
back in it.
That's bad. That is.
Draw, or
Yeah, maybe.
Stoppable is saying Dummy Box does not prevent Guru from trashing from self-trashing clause.
Oh yeah, because Guru trashes himself. But I thought if they were gonna click to trash this because we're tagged, then Dummy Box prevents it. But yeah, no, because Dummy Box only prevents the corp from trashing your own cards. So yeah.
Wait, was there another Atlas? Was there 2 agendas in the first dive? I don't think so.
No, there's no way.
I only remember seeing one of them.
Did you mean to skip paying for another click to access a second Atlas for the first dive? Drunk. Was there 2 Atlases? There's no way there's 2 Atlases.
One of us would have seen there being 2 Atlases. I remember only seeing one agenda.
Yeah. They're also on a high profile target, so. Do we have another resource? I feel like we're gonna die unless we draw another resource. Okay, nailed it. Only if the corp trashes. Yeah, I assume the corp would try to trash this first. Because these decks usually only have like 2 or maybe 2.5 meat damage cards. The issues now, like, they have it too big to fail. They did use their Atlas counter, though. They can probably just score out as well. Like, we have pennies to our name. We also could consider going through the mouseless, but if we let the mouseless net damage to routine fire, we lose the Guru Defender.
Hmm.
But like we could let that fire gain a credit, they gain a credit. That's a spin doctor. They have a too big to fail in hand. I think that's all we know, because of course every time that we deep dive, it shuffles the deck.
Mhm.
Speaking of shuffle the deck, putting back in HPT. This is an exciting game, actually.
Yeah, this is interesting.
And Rashida. Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
Sure.
There's just one Atlas rewound to stream. Thank you, Frank. I'd be upset if we missed it, but I was trying to be pretty careful. Install. Second. Spin Doctor.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Frank. Check the tape.
There's only one Atlas. Thank you. HPT to do 6 meat damage. We lose Guru, but they have no clicks left. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. This is fine. This is fine. This is
What
fine.
agenda? It's new.
You called it Ausilis. Yeah, the new agenda. This
Yeah.
this Claude honestly has been doing a lot. I
Mhm.
wonder if this is CVS in server 2. It's more likely a price hack. But now
Do
that
we
we
have
get this card
anything
down.
like a jailbreak in the deck or something?
No. You think
Okay.
we access cards? We deep dive.
Yeah. No, silly me, silly me.
So we're not going to get Beth credits. Of course. We could actually consider clearing the tags. I have to wonder how you're not dead. Guru. 100%. This little guy in a dome. I never realized that that image in front of him was him. I thought it was just like noise. But not like the character noise. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So Brandon has 6 in hand. So next turn we'll be on 1 credit. So we could do credit. No, we actually can't clear all the tags unless we have a Deuces Wild that we rip off the top. We played all 3. Never mind. So I think we're just trying to win. Sure. Yeah. Undoing the high profile target. Can you clear at a lethal range? It's unlikely. If we clear, oh no, if we clear 1, yeah, we're at a lethal range. You're right.
But also, like you're lat, so most of the time you will end up with 6 cards in hand at the end of your turn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, totally true.
You have some protection there.
Yeah, but if we're like run through the mouseless.
Mhm.
Have you played all your deep dives? Yeah, Chris, we played 3 in the same turn. We have to just like win off the top of R&D, honest, or HQ. And actually HQ is probably correct because they drew a lot with Spin Doctor, but we'll have to see what they do with the Spin Doctor. If we run archives and they don't shuffle, then there's probably agendas in HQ. But we really have to keep this on a knife's edge. The issue is like running HQ is really awkward for us because we lose the Guru. Oh, if we install Euler, how many connections do we have? 2? No, 1. Install costs 1 less, so we install this for 2 credits. We'd have to break for 3, so it's a 5 credit play. We have 2 bad publicity. You got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Nice. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you. How many genders are left in the game? So we have 11. So there's about 8 more. No, 9 more.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at generally another Atlas, 2 food, and then a hostel. All right, they just did it again. That's cool. All right. Brandon's down to 5. We don't get a trigger off of Beth. Do we run archives? Run R&D, run archives, run R&D?
Sorry, run R&D, run archives, run. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Run R&D, run archives. Go for it.
But then we can't clear the tag. We don't care about clearing the tag. We'll be on 6 cards, right?
I don't think you care about clearing the tag.
Yeah, I like that idea. And this will make you Synchron feel good about Lad again. Hit R&D, run Spindo, hit R&D again. Yeah, I think we do trash this.
Yeah, for sure. If it's free.
You know those games where you're just like, I hope R&D holds out.
Come on.
Yeah, I think we run the Spin Doctor, not archives. They're more likely. Actually, no. I think we run archives. Jank, I don't know if we run our Spin Doctor. I think if we run archives, like there's nothing they won't shuffle. We run the Spin Doctor. They're probably more likely to shuffle, but they could hide. We win. Never mind.
Oh, there we go.
Good game.
Take 2 meat for old time's sake. All right.
Yeah, we probably should have. That was wild.
Wow,
Ignore board. Deep dive. That guru, I know, right? Man, I've never seen Guru dummy box is actually quite mean. As long as you have the money to support it. Thanks to the game. Because no reason for him to discard an agenda there. Yeah, there's probably no reason. There's a chance that maybe they think they can offshore it here, that we'd run HQ. I feel like they could keep agendas in HQ if they don't trash Guru. But yeah, maybe we run this because they'll more likely force them to shuffle. I think you're right, because the chance that there's one agenda here is less likely. I'm seeing a lot of Argus for the past month. Really?
Was there any Argus at our event?
Yeah, Julien played Argus. But I think what he said specifically is like, I'm playing this because it's going to rotate soon. And it's my favorite, but he doesn't think it's particularly good. Yeah, I think you're right. They would shuffle operations. They'd probably end up shuffling back in meat damage. This is going to be Asa, right? Yeah. Yay. We're also running the Curse Pat Tap Dummy Box combo. Yeah, but that's one of the matchups where like they're just not going to trash it. That's good. Hey, Andre, long-time lurker since the live stream is during the workday here in Australia. Just decided to give those playmats away. I've been keen to pay shipping. Oh, that's really cool to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah. Samwise.
I'll keep that in mind. Figure out what to do because I need to check how many I have on board. But hey, glad you can watch during the workday even.
I mean, like I think you were planning on giving them away to your family members as like, hey, here's a framed photo of me on a weird material.
Yeah.
The filter the photographer uses is kind of weird. It's the lighting.
This hand's like okay. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you start with a diesel and a sure gamble. Like that's a good intro.
Apparently, how's it going? How's the kid? How's Evelyn? Singer drawn up. So Singrid's talking about how that they've been playing Asa basically. They put out a video recently talking about like, standard meta stuff. And they talked about how they've been playing the PD deck in Asa as a shell and they like it a lot better. And Singrid's been grinding Asa for a long time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm a bit worried. She's sleeping to have some rare free time. Ooh. This is how you use it. Your free time's not that valuable. It doesn't seem. We appreciate it. Server 2, what do you think it is? And like, can we afford to just like ping off of server 1? People stop watching Montreal Grid because of work. Wow, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm okay with checking server 1 here.
Like what's it called? Drafter's okay. Gatekeeper's annoying. Magnet's fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's probably
like,
Rashida.
It's good we know about that now, before we put down the Ika.
We never put down the Ika.
That's the secret.
This is going to be an advanced assembly lines. What is this? It's a Maryland. His money is actually quite bad, unless that's a Rashida. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to feel bad about it. Because right now, yeah, it's a Rashida. That's the blowout. If that was another Maryland, I don't think they would have iced it, but that's bad. I also can't recur anything, so Drafter's tolerable. Yeah, and the first turn when they have nothing in archives, it's okay. If they played like a hedge fund and they're recurring at hedge fund, like that's annoying. If you're doing a last click so they can install an agenda on the table, that's a disaster. But yeah, Drafter's not as mean as I think a lot of people take it. Yeah, I feel like paying 3 there was wrong. We'll see. But because all of you Sengrin's agendas are tempo positive. So we just need to set up as soon as possible. So let's just hope our deck is good to us. Draw 2, gain 3. Not a matchup we're going to need the Guru Defender, luckily. Oh, Creative Commission. We didn't see 1 in the last.
On last click, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. But we never even saw 1.
You're not going to trash out of there. Yeah.
I missed it, yeah. Time for the early deep dive. I do not believe in the early deep dive.
Oh, come on.
Maybe you're right, honestly. Yeah, you're probably right. Because, well, like, okay, look. If you're deep diving, you're sacrificing your whole turn to deep dive, right? We're going to sacrifice our whole deep turn to deep dive when we could sacrifice our whole deep turn in a couple turns to deep dive twice. You see what the issue is? Like, we're getting half value. Everyone likes early deep dive. Okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm still on board with early deep dive.
I'm doing it.
It's so cheap. Like you talk about value. Right now, it's so cheap.
But it's a whole turn.
Right? It's a whole turn, but almost no credits.
And then we're using these, so it's harder to do them. Running HQ is nice there. Anoetic, yeah, get out of it. But they probably have a spin down.
Oh, you're spending 2 of them? I would just spend 1.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. You're totally right. Oops. Yeah, you're totally right. I forgot we didn't have to do that. Okay. Get out of my life. Okay. This seemed good.
There, yeah.
This seemed
You
like a
took
really
2
good
good
idea.
attempts.
This seemed like a very good idea. Everyone in chat
It's
is very correct.
yeah, it's a good idea that we all had together.
Yeah. That was my idea. Really bad against
Yeah,
Argus? Yeah, that's really
yeah.
bad against Argus. That's true.
Hey, I like your idea.
That was a good idea I
It's
had.
my idea now.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's, posting Tanuki Mario statue, so I think that means you did well?
Great team effort. The whole
Yeah.
team, we did well out here.
Hey, I've got a new team. Our team name is Effort. Let's call ourselves Team Effort.
Oh, I see what you've done. Do you think at DreamWorks you're allowed to say that whole stupid saying?
Oh, at Teamworks makes the dream work?
Yeah, yeah. At DreamWorks, you're not allowed to say that, are
Yeah.
you? I think they fire you.
Well, yeah, I think you have to say it in, like, a Scottish accent, and then, like, Rufus Wainwright has to sing a cover of a Canadian folk song.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Sang was just jamming out Jet is on the table.
That's that's a good assumption.
I'm gonna get access to Clop, but I don't think it's gonna be valuable. This is probably not a good turn, but we want to draw a card.
Yeah. Chat is wrong. Long live the chat.
Listen to chat. Don't listen to chat advice. Yeah, this is an agenda. Server 1, the one we were not gonna run. Enjoy your off-world office.
Ooh,
So we still
that's
need
money.
2 agenda points. We haven't seen another deep dive. We're about 3 out of the ashes in. No, thank you. Let's draw. There's no VRcation in this deck either, and we cannot draw Palace Cafe for our life dependent on it. We're at a point where actually installing simul chips might be okay.
Yeah.
Like, what is this draw? It's weird because this does not feel like we played other versions of deep dive decks, and this one feels like there's so many more like tech pieces than just like
Mm.
acceleration. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, in what world do you install Cyber Trooper Talud? It's I guess it is a connection. Yeah, that is Ankuza, which is like cool tech against specifically border control. On like a server that has it forces the border controls earlier, I reckon. Is there only one
Not only
palace? No,
do
Vincent, there's 3.
not only do people not stop working to watch Metropolitan Grid, I should be doing work now,
Oh, really?
but here I am. No, no, I shouldn't. My current company is very very heavy on work life balance. My bosses have like in their signature like if you were replying to this no if you receive this email outside of your work hours, do not reply.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a good friend Chrysium or a good friend Managarm. It's one or the other. That's the problem.
Cyber Trooper makes Paola's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly, Chris.
There's
It makes it
connection.
1 cheaper, but like, is that worth installing for 2 to install 2 programs for 1 cheaper each? Like, it
And the
makes them
programs that you
better.
install later are way
Sure,
more
sure, sure, sure,
powerful.
sure. But like,
I see why it's the worst card in the hand sometimes,
yeah, I think it's gonna
but
often be the
I
worst card in
also
the hand.
understand why it's in the deck.
Like if they're going slow, but they shouldn't. I feel like I want to run server 1 real bad. Do we have access to decoder? No. Do we have access to a boomerang? Yeah. I think we do. We can install. Oh, we can install Mayfly Boomerang Go. I'm working right now. I'll buy 50% normal output. Friday. Count it. This is Rashida. Fun thing with Cyber Trooper, you can enable Dream it with lat? Oh,
Net.
DreamNet. Yeah, yeah, totally. But this deck doesn't want to run a lot. It's one of the best link cards in the game, modernly. All right, now we're destitute, but that's okay. Literally, this deck also doesn't have peace in our time. Let's get a draw, which gets us a draw. Okay. Decoders in your hand. Why don't criminals have a digital companion? Diceborn, how's it going? The companions are all like the Anarch stuff, so they're the only ones who have companions, period. So that's gonna answer that, I bet. I think a lot of people though were confused, like why the companions to a lot of people felt more like, oh, they seamless launched it. They did feel a lot more like Shaper cards in some way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like I do like that they're all tied to Hoshiko and Keiko, and that those all exist in Anarch. But I think it also would be interesting to have 1 or 2 companions
Yeah.
outside of faction, so that it isn't so obvious how to build that deck, right? Like, oh, well, maybe I can spend my influence to go even deeper on the companion synergy, or do I do something else?
I also wish like the idea of like having a digital companion, like an AI, right? Like we had the AI subtype for a while. I just wish they were more interesting than just 1 credit per turn. Like
Hmm.
the design space is obviously wide open. Okay, if we keep 4 credits, they can't fast advance. I don't think they will. Their remote servers don't seem that good. But I think we're gonna have to top deck something. I don't want to install the daily cast because then we can't pull Claude if we need to, but I really don't think we're gonna have to need to pull a Claude in an Asa deck. Oh, he's here, guys. Paula's here.
Thank you, Paula. Just a little late.
Throw out. We're not gonna have time for this. Throw out. Probably not gonna have time for Plungy, but Plungy Oiler actually will get you pretty far. I wonder if we just toss that with Oiler so that we can install it clicklessly. That's probably correct. How's it going, Jogging? Feels like a Shaper thing because of Dinosaurs to me. Yeah, kind
Mhm.
of.
Yeah, yeah, I guess the whole like even Hoshiko and the whole
Like Hoshiko doesn't
companion.
feel like an Anarch.
No, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hoshiko and the companions, they do definitely feel more like shapers. The only thing about the companions that feels anarchy is that they. Oh wait, anarchy and anarch. Do you think they're related? Anyway, so I think that they trash themselves. Like they're cards that trash cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Your own card. That feels like an anarch thing.
Threatening a win
And they
by
are too strong. Yeah.
sorry, threatening a win by turn 8 is so HB right now. It's so Netrunner right now.
Hmm.
Um
And yeah, I agree. Movie pass user, Fencer Fuendo is like kind of an unstoppable force.
Companions are too strong. I want to play Anarch, but I want to include the companions. I don't think you have to include the companions. I think they're good. I think the companions are actually not amazing if you don't play Keiko as a console.
Yeah.
Because like the 1 credit per cost card is like very comparable to all the other ones that do that, but are less like
Gecko is
limiting.
still a very tempting console, even if you consider it blank. It's like 2 credits for
It's 1 credit,
two
right?
or
What's the install cost? 3 or 2? Because you never pay the install cost.
yeah, it's like yeah, I think it's
But like that's the issue is like
Gecko.
the companions with Keiko are now 2 credits per turn cards, which are absurd. That's so strong.
Mhm, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Um,
Keiko is 3 credits,
so you pay
so
2, yeah.
functionally 2 credits for +2 MU, and that's really quite good on its own.
Panzer Rezeki's 4, 5, and 6. So Maddie was playing a net deck that we decked that wasn't running Keiko, but it was running like Trickster, Taka, and Fueno. Not Fueno, and Puemo, and we cut Taka so quickly.
Hmm.
Uh
If you're not
s-
doing stealth, yeah.
hmm. Yeah, yeah, if you're not doing stealth for sure. I don't know what to do. Like we can run server 9. We have access to SMC, which is great. We can trash SMC to install our Oiler, which gets us through Gatekeeper. We're assuming Gatekeeper Magnet. We haven't seen any bronze. We haven't seen any bronze or border control. We could probably not afford to break any of those. I think we could just run server 9 and server 1. The question is like, I think Yusengren doesn't install an agenda this turn. I think Yusengren holds in hand.
I'm I'm being summoned by net jogging.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Northman, but I hope to soon. I do. Uh, I hope to because yeah, you're saying that Shakespeare like it's sort of like Hamlet, or is it like actually straight up Hamlet but with Vikings? I can't remember exactly what I've. Okay. Oh no, I saw another good movie this year. I feel like you don't have to get upset with me. Yeah, but I okay. People are making assumptions about me.
We can threaten Centrals, but at this point, if we threaten Centrals, like, for what? We don't have a deep dive, unfortunately. But I think we have to force some money out. The thing is, like, they have seamlesses. They can score out really cheaply. Um,
Hamlet is a
let's go
con.
HQ. Let's just force their money out. But, like, if it's a drafters, I think it's a disaster. It is a gatekeeper.
Uh, that's not good.
So we can install our Oiler for free. It costs 4 to break. I don't think we're gonna do that. Hamlet is a con, sham poser. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
some really strong anti-Denmark vibes I'm getting here. Hey,
I
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, and you want to have this conversation now? Come on, it's too soon.
I really wonder if trashing the early Maryland had a huge impact on our liquidity. Border control. Okay. Okay, so we have to either check server 1, which we could. All we have to do is install Pelongi and we're there. But I really don't think it's there. Because we could install the Pelongi for 1 and pull out our Oiler and then we break for 1-1. They shuffled back in the Anoetic. This is more likely to be a Rashida. We don't know Server 8. I'm assuming it's the third Jeeves. And now we don't, we can't lat for better or for worse. Because they have 300 cards. All right, let's go. Northman was pretty cool. I just wish they would have cast someone else for the Scary Witch Lady. I found her not scary at all. Movie pass user. So we're gonna trash this for Oiler, which comes in. So this turn it's like really quite good. Oh, it's a 2 strength. Oh, that's fine. That's what we calculated.
A friend of mine who's an actor, and after this metaphor, I'll go back to paying attention to the
Oh, we have
game
to
course.
use this.
He is concerned with the Macbeth curse,
The Scottish play.
superstition. Sorry, the Scottish play, of course. And he was telling me when he was when we were talking.
Yeah, it's Rashida.
Did you hear that, like, backstage at the Oscars, someone said the name Macbeth? And then, like, an hour later, Chris Rock was slapped, and he was saying it
Okay.
like he was drawing a line from
Yeah.
A to B like that, and and it's like you're so deep in the kayfabe, like, we all know it's not real, but he's like, "No, no, it's real, like, that's why it happened." Like, "No, no,
Something
I think
happened.
there's a lot of other reasons it happened."
Did I drop my shawarma on the way home?
Yeah.
Complete the 5th. Whoa, there's fast advance in here. So we got our clot off the table. So there's a chance you think we can score at 6 credits. Is just one short of biotic into a 3-2. There's probably no 3-2s on the list though. Still release date for Everything Everywhere in Japan, which gives a lie to the title. Oh
No,
no, that's funny, but
that's
also
really sad.
oh no.
That would have been a very good marketing, gimmick to just, like, have it take over everyone's TV and screen everywhere in the world.
If all the world's a stage, can you ever say the Scottish play's real name? That's a good point.
Yeah. Mhm.
Same with the UK, sadly, Everything Everywhere. Oh, that's really rough. It's quite good.
I saw some great, Chinese language movie posters of Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is surprising because they've restricted movies that have similar content to that, as far as
Really?
I know. Yeah.
How's it going, by the way, Soviet? Movie's so good. It is really great. I
It's an
definitely want to see
extremely
it
good movie.
again.
Still trying to get more of my friends to see it, and they're, like,
It's a hard pitch.
resistant to
It's a hard pitch.
I,
It's like a
I
confusing
don't I
pitch.
no,
It's like I don't want to
I think
spoil it.
I think the pitch is easy. I think the content of the movie is what makes it hard to recommend to my mother.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Is it like a superhero movie? Kind of. It's kind of sort of.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think it has some of the trappings of a superhero movie, but it's certainly not. It doesn't feel like I wouldn't say it's my favorite superhero movie. It's just has a lot of those
Yeah, there's a lot
ideas.
of like super in it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a lot of different movie genres. The movie, I guess the directors, producers, they attempt to make so many different movies in one movie, and they succeed at pretty much all of them.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I would say like yeah, it's kind of a philosophical comedy, family dramedy, I guess.
Yo, so we can't stop fast events anymore. We have one simul chip, one SMC. They're both used. We could draw into the clot, which is unlikely. We have 3 draws at 17. The other thing we can do is we can check server 4 or server 10. I'm not sure what we're trying to get off the table. Like it's a really big risk for Yusengren to push on the table because we can get in there probably. Like if we just click for credits, there's very few ice we can't deal with. Maybe we can't deal with Gatekeeper, but we also have a boomerang. It's not really a power fantasy movie. It's more of a family drama. Yeah, that's actually a really good way of talking about a family drama, a powerful family drama. So I don't know what you do here. Because like I think the border control goes on HQ because I think they're holding fast events. And then if this is not a Chrysium, if it's a Manigarm Skunkworks, whatever, like we can't deal with HQ really easily. So then we'd have to win off the table. But I don't think the win is on the table. There's no way that the win is on the table. I'd be so shocked if Sangren actually installed an agenda. So I think our play is just Boomerang R&D. Yeah, I think we have to win off singles. I think we have to win off the Boomerang R&D. So I think we're just going to do that. Is there anything we can draw into here? We could draw into the clot. So let's draw once. No, okay. Then we can run archives last, but that doesn't seem very good. And we want to keep a click left unless this is a border control. But this is our only shot. We want pause for mind games? Oh, on sell.
Huh.
Interesting. They can trash an installed runner card. That doesn't really matter. I'd rather have the click. They have 4 credits now. That like I don't know how do they fast advance? Trash, and if we run now last click into server 4, server 10, and they pull a hit a drafter, like we lose. Trash one install runner card. Is that a problem for us? I don't think so. But are we really running archives last click? Nah, we'll just click through it. Like I don't think we're doing much on last click. We can't run the remote servers because if it's a drafter, we lose.
Yeah, I think quick because like.
Because yeah, this is weird. Like if we had a better thing to do last click besides run archives, I would not click through that. Oh shit, yeah, Lakshmi, right on. Spin Doctor Res? Okay. So they're gonna show us one agenda in hand, and we can't steal it. But they have to do it now. They should have res that before the onsell, so that's a bit of a misplay.
What's it gonna be? A Cyberdex?
Yeah, they showed us the Cyberbex, we hit a Managar and Skunkworks. Shuffle the boomerang back in. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have another turn. Time to hit a ganked? Yeah, I know. Oh my god, yeah. We should always keep a click for ganked, but if they ganked our board, like whatever. Oh man. Yeah, I love Lakshmi. Man, I used to play Lakshmi. Like, I have good fun
really
memories
did,
of going to Toronto and playing like ETF asset spam with Lakshmi, and people like did not play Imp and did not know how to play against us. It was so fun with like Mumba, what's it called? The Museum of History. That's it.
Museum of History.
Yeah, Mumba Temple. Singer has 3 credits. The money is not as good. If we look at how many fully ops we played 2, which is like the big power card in this deck. I like this deck. This is asset I think is a bit more exciting than PD.
Yeah, I do like playing as or against Asa quite a bit.
So we have still 17 cards. Only 1 credit. Our Pat Tap is not firing off anything. We know they have a sandbox in hand, 1 in 8 at this point, and it looks like I'm guessing that the border control is on HQ. Okay, maybe sorry, yeah, maybe that's something else. But if they click for credits here, oh, they have to fully op here. What? 1 credit? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, I forgot that they 3 installed to Jeeves. I was like, what are they doing? They have no money. They drew 2 cards?
But you always draw first. If you know you're gonna draw, you draw first.
I'm so surprised they drew though.
And then money.
Okay, so this is really awkward, right? Because they can easily res an upgrade, which will be a mana garm and whatever garbage server 11 is. And maybe easy is not correct. And then they won't have a lot of money. And then it's an issue because we can't steal out. But if they res all that stuff, I think we're okay. So the question is, what do we need to run through a border control into a gatekeeper? So gatekeeper we break for 2 credits. Border control we break for 2 credits. So we credit, run HQ. They pop it. And then that's our turn. It seems bad.
Yeah.
The other option is run R&D, but then they could just like res everything and then reveal the last agenda. Usually if they're on Lakshmi, they're generally on like 3 food, 3 sandbox, 3 off-world office, 1 luminal. I think that adds up.
Yeah, you definitely want to do 3 of each agenda.
Yeah.
Or as close to that as possible.
So I think we have to run HQ and hope they don't have doubles.
Although why you'd have one
agenda's
luminal.
here though on the table. So we have to hope that we hit yeah, this seems actually quite bad. Why would you have a luminal? It's good enough.
No, I mean it's good, but it breaks the pattern that helps make Lakshmi good, right? 3-3-3.
Yeah.
Is my math wrong there?
But no, yeah, you might not be wrong. You have to do the math. Because I think they might be on 10 agendas. Because 3, 6, 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 6 is 19. Yeah, they might actually be on. They might not be like fully on Lakshmi. Like it's not their main. Yeah, okay, so that's what we thought it was.
Yeah.
So they might be on 3, 2, 3, 1 or something. Code gate. So they can keep us out. And they can score on 4 credits. So I think actually this is quite bad because they have full control here. Yeah, this is not a good play. Yeah, this is bad because we're spending all our money and they're just going to border control. I don't know why we did this. I think we calculated that this is exactly this. And we're like, we'll still do it. I was hoping that they would pay more money here. Yeah, okay. So we have 1 click left, 4 credits with 4 credits. Alternative is to click through on sell until we win or lose. Yeah, I think that was our best option, was to click through this. Let gain money sub-fire. If gain money sub-fired, we'd be on 1 credit, which isn't enough because this is 2 for 2 code gate subroutine. So it wouldn't have been enough. But then we could have clicked for 1 fewer credit, maybe. But I was trying to keep them down on credits, but the issue is with 4 credits, like they can score out with they can score out easily with what's it called? Seamless. And the issue is like running through the on sell is pretty hard because of the Lakshmi Smart Fabrics. It doesn't save money? Well, no, because we could pay 2 credits and then we would gain a credit back with pad tap. Because we actually make a credit. So it would actually save the credit. Not on breaking, but on the pad tap firing. Because it's the first time this turn that they gave me a credit, right? I don't think we really have an option here. We can't run server 11. Like, our best chance is go archives or click for credit and hope they don't win. Which I don't think is going to happen. Pad tap's interesting. Pad tap's a really big deal. Pad tap is such a big deal. I think so.
That's all she wrote?
Yeah. Would you be so kind to let me just see the top of R&D? Just, let's go look at it.
Yeah. Sure.
Peek at it.
And then when you win,
yeah,
you're gonna make a big deal of it, even though we all saw.
Yeah, that was a really bad play.
I do like the idea of using the assumed border control to make money, so that at least you have 1 click left.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. I like that thinking.
So if this is an
Too bad it
agenda,
didn't happen.
no, okay, so good. So it would have mattered. I think we were locked out. Good game. Was trashing the Maryland like game losing? Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Oh, they didn't have a seamless. Ooh. Did you have the seamless? Why don't you have anything installed? Because the way this game was going, we don't really want to install a lot. We're like a really combo deck, but we only drew into 1 deep dive, and then they put an upgrade on HQ, and we don't have the money. They're going fast enough. That's really hard for us. And again, we did an early deep dive, which worked out well. Had a second Jeeves. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't consider that. We didn't have the money, but if we trashed Jeeves, they would have to res a second Jeeves, and they didn't have enough money for those. So I don't think you can threaten Centrals and trash Jeeves. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. What's on HQ? Crisium? I probably should have res the Mana Garment instead of BQ. Oh, totally. Yeah, probably. You were allowing me credits to pad tap, which might have been a problem. All right, so it's double Mana Garms. The table was a set of Jeeveses. They installed Rashida off of our Ansel Fire, and then there was a second Spin Doctor as well. 12 counters on Lakshmi. But yeah, that's hard. That's really hard. It's hard when you can't deal with this. If you have something like an imp, it helps, but again, it only helps for not the whole turn. It's protected, so then they just Spin Doctor him back. This card's quite mean. Those aren't Proco in hand? No, these are Palas. Which we've never been drawing early. If we've been drawing early, we can get these down. I think trashing the early, what's it called? A campaign might have been wrong. My board and forcing your. Yeah, I think the game is too because they have a really good economy with fully up. Fully up. Is the deck's econ not robust enough for acid heavy matchups? You definitely don't want to be trashing anything. In any acid heavy matchup, you're just trying to deep dive. It's like a very, yeah. If it wasn't a Rashida, it'd have been worth. But we put you on Rashida for sure. I struggle with figuring out what to prioritize the corp goes acid spam. Any tips? PMK, it's like super nuanced. It's like really nuanced. What is worth trashing? What isn't worth trashing? Let's look at a couple things really quickly, but this is the sort of thing where you generally have to look at replays and see what matters and what doesn't matter. Okay, so firstly, things cost different amount of monies. In some massive matchups, the priority is to keep your money up. Yo, he's saying thanks to the game too, man. One of the priorities is to keep your money up, just so you're not worried about things like hard-hitting news, any sort of tag punishment. So that does change what you can afford to trash and what you can't afford to trash. Yeah, Maryland was also fine with the deck with 3 pat taps. You're totally right, Macaroni. Things that are worth trashing, like, do we want to trash Rashidas? If you can, generally you do. It's probably not worth trashing their economy if they have strong economy. So say they're on 12 to 15 credits, don't go trashing their pad campaigns or their Marylands or even their like commercial bankers group. Probably not worth it. Some cards are more important than others. If you can threaten accesses on central servers, then if you're looking at something like the Daily Business Show, that is more important, because this basically, it gives them a lot of power. This thing's actually worth trashing if you can. But it's like such a hard question to answer that
It's a hard task at 4 credits. That one's
yeah, no, this is a tall ask. But just the
Mhm.
question of understanding what to trash and what not to trash depends so much on your board state, their board state, and what they're trying to build up. Like, what is their win condition? There's a lot of decks that will like put down the table like a reconstruction contract, and you'd be like, well, I don't need to deal with that. It doesn't do anything. But like, if that's how they're gonna win, you're gonna have
that's
to
the
deal
win
with that
condition, yeah.
eventually, right?
Mhm.
Yo, Dan, how's it going? What are we playing tonight? We just finished with the deck list of the week, but I want to play the Corp deck that I played at our store championship because it's quite good.
Hey, Dan.
Sorry to take over the stream? No, not at all. Could we see
Mm,
one of your Aztec, or are y'all gonna build something new? Yeah, Jenkins, I want to try this. I'm hoping maybe, and I don't want to like militarize this, but if we can all give this some updates, maybe this would end up as like a deck list a week, and then we could like really play it next week. I will play it
yeah.
next week no matter what, if we do or not, but I also want to play this one because it's quite
Mm.
good and hasn't been getting enough plays, I don't think. Meanwhile, I've lost games because I can trash everything about Mamba Temple. Mamba Temple can be a big deal, but like if their stuff is rezzed and they have money, Mamba Temple doesn't do anything. So, and if you're not running, like the Mamba Temple, it still gets some reses if they're
It still
installing
gets
things.
value out of the pad taps and the pad campaigns and the Maryland
Yeah.
stuff.
But like Mamba Temples for me, it's like the most annoying when you're running a remote server because you want to pressure their economy to force them to res
Mhm.
ice. And they're like, I res all this shit for free. Like, okay,
Yeah.
problem. Well, but that was pretty low my priority for trashing. Yes. Unless their economy is really bad and they haven't res a lot of stuff, I would not rush the Mamba Temple.
Mm.
Like compare Mamba Temple to a commercial bankers group, which gives them 2 credits to use. That's a bit better because they're going to use those credits so hard hitting use you.
Do we want to mention that their Nanise has a World Championship survey out?
Yeah, I mentioned
Basically
it.
asking. Oh, you did. You already mentioned it.
Yeah, I
Sorry, I
mentioned it
must
when
have
you
completely
popped out for a second, but yeah, they have a survey
missed.
talking about like what would make you comfortable at Worlds this year. So
Okay.
it takes like 3 minutes. It's really not a long survey. Most of it's just like 1 to 10, hit a button. You can find it on eState.net. I'll link it in the YouTube description. What's it called? Jam Tower. Okay, I like this deck a lot. I like Reality Plus a lot. The one issue I'm finding with this deck a lot is that it doesn't have enough economy. I'm clicking for credits, which is a problem, but it's really good at setting up situations where the runner can goof up and you can capitalize on that. I think there's a chance that I would be okay adding another agenda to this deck and just 3 economy cards and playing 49. I like Palantir, I did my part. Thank you. Check to Spanish that idea. So yeah, I do think that there's chances that this deck actually could be a bit different. I just struggle with economy a lot of times, and you need to go quick. Keep wondering if we'll need to swing back to APOC. Oh, that's what that's about. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe. I think APOC Max is still quite good. I gotta get you guys to drive down to Mansion Runner next year. It sounds really nice. I don't know too much what Mansion Runner is, but just the idea of like having a bunch of people in the same place to play Netrunner in person, like we did last weekend, it's phenomenal. But then on top
Mhm.
of that, the sort of like I'm assuming sleepover kind of aesthetic of it being like a getaway to like play board games and all that. It sounds lovely.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I saw you talk about that on Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, that does sound really pleasant. Whether for Netrunner or just like a dedicated cottage weekend just for only board games. We clock out of every device or something like that's pleasant.
it was literally at like 20 people in Airbnb. It was amazing. It sounds really nice. On that note, like
Mm.
around here, it's pretty common because there's like chalets out in the north for people to do things like that. And
Yeah.
I've never done that. I really need to do it. Also, Dan, do I have one of your boomerangs? Those are your boomerangs, right? Just like blowing things up. All right, Max, this is generally a good enough matchup. Opening hand?
Is it like a bunch of people? Is it more than one people to a room? Because I'm a terrible cackling sleeper, I've been told. Might be even
It's
disturbing.
called a Scream Dreamer.
Yeah, I'm a scream dreamer. It's a condition.
Mhm.
It's people. It's known in the DSM.
Dan, firstly, I like the boomerang a lot. I don't know. Am I meant to peel off the back? Is there acrylic on the back? Because it looks black. Am I missing something here? Because I don't know if I peel it off or not. I think we managed to have everyone have their own room. Whoa, that's a huge mansion. This opening hand's
That's good.
actually not good.
Okay, but then I have to ask about like soundproofing because again, I'm a cackle sleeper, and like if you hear that just like quietly through the thin walls of your bedroom, that's gonna cause some disturbing nightmares. I'm afraid. How about I get a smaller mansion on the property just to myself?
If we top deck is seamless, you cannot peel it off. Fantastic. I did not commit hard to that. Oh, it's Fire Smacks. I don't know how to play against that. If we
It's
top
been a
deck a
while since I've
seamless
been fire.
launch, this is quite good. Oh, this is actually quite bad. Whew. This is not good. That's great to know, Dan. I definitely tried. Yeah, I can't be the only one who's tried to peel off the back. Maddie played with all like my hot tokens, and she got good comments on the Nisei sleeves and the boomerang token.
Hmm.
I guess
Oh,
that's
I don't think I saw the boomerang tokens. I should check those out.
oh, they're sick.
Mhm.
They're really quite good. They're if you turn them sideways, they look like a jellyfish. Quite
Mhm.
fun. Just convince everyone
Just
the
convince
place is
everyone the place is
haunted.
haunted. They say 40 years ago a man was boomed twice in one turn.
Fermented. Okay, we gotta go. A seamless launch off the top would be amazing, just so that we can score a remastered and like really push the issue here.
Mhm.
EOI. Okay. Okay. Okay.
In the
The
bin,
thing is,
where's
like,
your
we just
art
don't have
down?
enough money. Like, I want to predict it for money. I think we
Mhm.
draw once. We can put them on game point pretty quickly. So we'll do server one and we'll just gain 3 credits. That was not shit. I meant to hit gain 3 credits. Who does that last click? That was meant to be credits. Oh no.
Oh
That
no!
was meant to be
Come
credits.
on. Ooh.
You don't draw
Well,
3 last click after installing. Thank you.
sure, I guess, but you saw the
Yeah, I'm
cards.
gonna shuffle.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shuffle. There's like no way you do that.
Did I see
Judge,
that?
judge, judge.
Did I see that hard hitting news also has a hat?
Yes, yeah, the T has a hat. I think the flavor text
I'm
also kind of talks about it. Botulus?
that's fine.
Okay. They're gonna get our agenda.
Yeah, everyone's calling judge.
Yeah. Writing up an OP report now. Yo, actually, I played with I did not know that you aren't allowed to play what's it called? Hand drawn proxies at an event. That you actually had to have like prints. I didn't know that because Maddie wrote and drew out the art of a mouse lie. And apparently that's
Oh,
a
oh yeah, yeah, that's true. I also found out only during the like the organizational process of this
yeah, I didn't know
because
that.
like it's been very common that I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to put this card in. I will just take a page out of my notebook and draw it in
Yeah, no, yeah, I can't do it. You have to get it printed.
because yeah.
All right, they have good money. This is where our money is not good enough. Not that we've drawn into any punishment, but we want to get the scored from hand. Imp is an issue. I would say imp is an issue.
Imp is gonna be frustrating for sure.
Oh, we don't
That
have money, and
that's
that's what you do to us? Look, I really like this deck, and this is not going good. Paying 2 res there seems pointless. What's the reason for that? You're right. It's actually pointless. I was used to it being something like a boomerang where it actually mattered, but you're right. Paying 2 credits was quite wrong.
hmm.
I think that's actually something that I have a criticism with this deck. Like IP block is quite good, considering that it does tax out most people 3 credits when they break it or trace through it. But the issue that I'm having is that I want more pings in the deck because it's hard for people to play around pings. A lot of times people don't play around ping. I think at this point
Turn
we
back to Jack.
lose.
Hmm. Put that on R&D.
I just don't want them to run HQ because then we're gonna lose our like ways to win. And like they're gonna imp the blown if they're smart. Like this is the issues where we're just clicking for credits. If they spin up fast and they have pressure, like this is a nightmare. We have to wait for them to misstep.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is definitely a mistake. Oh, Nob Curie means they're not gonna misstep. Amakua, I think we can concede. Oh no, we have 5P blocks. This
Oh
actually
yeah, true.
might be a mistake.
Now Amaku is a bit of a liability.
FTP on R&D with price like Vlad Grid presents some challenges. I don't actually think so. Because like resing this for 4 and then I guess they do pay 4. But yeah, if they leave this up, we can top deck. Not much. We have to advance it. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Because I don't know. A lot of people don't respect this card. But like the problem is that we're still clicking for credits. Like if we res this for 4 credits, like that's it.
Mhm.
They're bottoming out soon. We can't really afford to purge. Oh, man, the 3rd fermenter. This is also like a hard match to play against. Like I'm not that good at Virus Max. I don't know how to play it that well. What they imp here is going to be super impactful. Hamaku is at 7. All Seeing Eye, that's getting imped. Probably not, actually.
Yeah, I don't see it getting imped here. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Cookbook is useful, but
Not that important. Virus Max also seems tricky for this list. Yeah, it seems quite hard. 18 credits. That's the issue too. Is like you don't want to install your Rashida on top of your Vlad Dispersk. Oh, the hats are in the sky. Because then it's you're letting them to run one server and trash everything. So you generally want to put this naked, but like we just have to hope they run out of money. In terms of labor rates, we've seen none of them. So
Mhm.
yikes.
Probably one in hand at least.
So like I don't know what to do. Like just install this credit card. Like it's bad. Maybe wanted to purge there. Yeah, they drew all 3 fermenters is the problem. They lost 1 labor rate so far. This also makes server 1 look more like an asset that you install this into a naked remote server. Daily cast coming down. Draw. 14 credits. Price second server 1, it's something. But like again, they break this for free and they imp. Like I don't think this is actually an issue for us. For them.
I mean, yeah, you are kind of hoping that they mess up in such a way that
Some catastrophic way, but they have such a
that
padding.
use a tag. Yeah, it seems unlikely, of course, but
Yeah.
that's you got to go with.
Dirty laundry, okay.
Yeah, first click. That's too bad.
Oh, right, they got a tag, sick. So now they actually have to break 2 subroutines. Fantastic. Yeah, that's another good reason not to res it, because this would have been a surprise potentially. So let's see what they access. But Disbursk, they'll probably imp that. I don't know if they want to spend 4. Price sec. Yeah,
Yes.
we can hit a labor rates. We hit a daily cast. Labor rates is a huge hit there.
Mhm.
But now they have 2 tags that they clear, which means they'll be on exactly 8 credits, which means not much. We have to get them to steal a Bologna, but again, with infinite imp, that's generally not going to happen. Ooh, actually, we could, in theory, if we public trail them, they'll go down to
Huh.
8. Then we'll be on 2 credits, and then we can credit into hard-hitting news.
Yeah,
I think that's a play.
that's something. That is a thing for sure.
Yeah.
They're going to start with 2 more credits start of your turn.
Yeah, this is wild. Like, again, it's
This
hard
is
to play
pretty
around
fun.
these sort of things,
That's
and then
pretty
you can
good.
get some money back.
Mhm.
They lost the second labor rates. Hold on. So they have 1 labor rates left, which forces their
Okay.
labor rates to pull back their labor rates, which is at least 1 labor rates.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something. This is something now.
3 labor rates and 3 silent
All
shifts
seeing
on.
eye would hurt them now.
Wait, they lost
A
all
little.
3 labor rates? Oh, wow, they did. Oh,
Oh
whoa.
my god. Oh my god. we,
Oh, I totally missed it. Yeah. Say labor rights again. Wrong. Yeah, how's it going? Labor rights.
mhm.
Bury them in tags. Yeah, our tag punishment is like not too robust. So they're just clicking
Okay,
for
so
credits. Like we can exchange a 1 for a 2, which is not like amazing. But like we
well,
still have to win.
can we? Yeah.
Like I think we all seeing eye this. Because that's their economy is limited now. I still think we
Yeah.
Lose. Like if
I
they imp
like
the
the
all
all
seeing.
seeing eye, like just for value here,
Oh, we need to draw once first.
and
Oh,
the exchange is good too.
disgusting.
That's going to drop them 2 points because we're going to shuffle the 15 minutes.
Yeah, I feel greedy though. Like I kind of want to keep it to take a 3 off of them, but I think you're right. I think we have to drop them down to 0.
I don't know if that's how we win.
No, I think you're right because I'm worried that we're gonna lose this to imp because they're just going to go tag me. Do I all sing eye or do I trash this? If we keep the Prisec around, it doesn't really matter. I want to keep
Um.
this in hand because we have way too many agendas.
Okay, but next turn they're gonna clear all the tags.
That's fine.
Okay.
We got next
Good.
turn, like there's no reason to trash these. Oh, because conduit. Yeah, there's no reason to
Mhm.
trash these. Yeah, this is a disaster. Luckily, we have all our agendas in hand.
That's a good point. Are
Yeah,
there only 2 balloons in the list?
3.
Okay, so yeah. Yeah.
Use Prisec, it's free. Gain 2 or draw 2. They
Aim
accessed
to.
this before. Yeah, we need money. You're right.
What did we knock out? Progenitor.
Yeah, nothing matters.
Mhm.
Hitting the conduit would be the only thing that matters. They imp the price Exic. Oh, Spin Doctor? That's bad.
Mm,
Again,
that's
you
bad.
know they're seeing like 8 cards. They can't steal Bologna because they've already imped something. 15 is back. Okay,
But we
cool.
don't want to shuffle because
No, we have to purge. So they're seeing 2 new cards here again. They can't steal Bologna. It's 1 remastered. That's it. The deck is 1 remastered, 1 Bologna. Everything else is in hand.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Time to purge? Yeah.
Time to purge. Oh, okay. Well, let's give him one more run.
Yeah, time to purge seems about correct.
Yeah. TTP for this game is about turn
Conduit's giving
13.
tunnel vision? Well, I don't think they know that things are that bad. Oh, IP block's actually interesting. It is an end run. We definitely have to purge here.
Yeah, I think purge.
But I think they're going to slime HQ here. The issue is their economy. Like, they have to click for credits for the Bolognas. Better game money for F2P? No.
Ooh, okay, Omar, that makes sense. But
Better game money for F2P. Interesting. If they have, like, a Fermenter in hand, maybe we should check. I'm rating HQ. It's a Rashida. Good. If they imp that, I don't think they will. Why did you pitch the EOI? Oh, we played it. We pitched the All-Seeing Eye. We played Exchange. Turnpike. This allows them to gain 2 or draw 2. It's fantastic. Oh, never mind. Amakua. Lol. Bellona? No money. I'm bad at card recognition? No. Oh, they imped it. Oh, yeah, right, because they trashed Rashida. Hold on.
Yeah, they spent money on the Rashida.
How do we win? I think they're just going to imp everything.
I mean, IP blocks and...
Like, do we IP block archives?
How about draw first?
No, well, what's the rest of our turn?
Credit IP block archives?
Yeah. Oh! Oh, they know that's there. Do we even credit? Do we draw next? We probably credit. Swap up Vulner for QPM? GG, I know. Isn't HQ better? Arguably. But like if they imp them, they'll be in archives. So that's fine for us. Here we can draw 2. Oh, that's a good card.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Eventually score your Bologna, it's kind of hard. Because they can just click for 4 credits, run it, or imp it. They could just imp it. Right? Like they're going to imp every single Bologna. And we only have 1 more Spin Doctor in the list. So they're just going to keep their money up and try and run archives. So I don't think it's, oh my god, this beautiful man with his dashing hat. Let's go.
All right, but do we recover the 2 Spin Doctors?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I should have thought this turn out first.
Yes, play him.
Yeah, too bad.
Oh, well, no, you already have the tags.
Yeah.
Seamless is going to be useful.
Seamless is quite useful. The issue is we have to score at a Bologna, so we need a second Seamless, which is 1 in 6. So I think we put the Spin Doctor on the table. Oh, we put this on the table as well? No, because they can credit steal it, so we can't afford to do that. So I think we put the Mouseless, because they actually have to break the Mouseless. Because like they only have 2 cards. They can't run through the Mouseless more than 3 times.
Yeah, true.
So we have to put... What, they conceded? Why?
Oh, wow.
GG. Whoa, why'd they leave? I think they had it. Like, what is our game plan here?
They were in control except for brief moments of us being in control.
But yo, the public trail to hard hitting news play is so good. They didn't really have a line. I think they could have had a line. Like the issues if we block them out everything with Amakua and Hivemind, right? Then they run out of breakers for sure. And I think they're obviously a bit upset because they milled everything they needed to. But like it's a really big grind here. Like we have to replace this with ice that ends the run. They could clear the tag so that and trash. I guess they can't trash their Amakua, so that's an issue. I don't know. I still think they had a chance because like it's an F2P on R&D. Like what are they gonna? It doesn't end the run. Like they could have gone through it. So I don't think you would. I think it's maybe not right to concede there. I think you'll mill everything. Mouseless F2P IP block more or less seals them out. It's hard. But they had a chance to win. They got triple fermenter. It's already quite a high roll. No, no, no.
Mm.
Keeping one labor rights would be like reasonable. Can't you charge up counters off the remote? They could have, yeah. They could have charged, well, once per turn because or sorry, it's limited by how many cards they have access to. They need to break through the IP block to break the and then they take tags, so it gives us 2 cards, which card to draw 2 cards. So yeah, to some extent, yes, but it's a bit tricky. But yeah, maybe I'm an ass, but I really wanted to bring a deck to the tournament that can like really capitalize on mistakes. And I'm not saying our opponent made a mistake, but the ability to be like, oh, I'm gonna hit back, and I like that in Corp deck.
Mhm.
They could have charged Armacure in theory, but yeah, giving R plus to ID trigger is too much. It probably was too much at that point. The thing is for us to win out, like they should have just trashed all their agendas so we can't exchange of information, and they were set up to do that. That's why I think they had a chance. Because as soon as they stole a Bologna, like then we can exchange, hopefully, once we draw through a fair bit. And we still had planograms. But the ID trigger does change how people want to interact with you for sure. Did you play any of the new cards at all, Pat?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, deep dive.
Oh yeah, of course. Right.
But I didn't. I don't think I used revolver in that deck. I think that was just Bagalter.
I don't think you use Revolver unless you have like Simul Chip or some nonsense.
Yeah, unless you have some sort of tricky way of getting a lot of value out of it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Rangi. All right. That's a good enough opening. We generally want to IP block HQ just because we can like trace through a diversion. But this hand's okay.
Mhm.
We have turnback for remote if we need to.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
watch
that
out
seems
for
reasonable.
boomerangs. Gotta watch out for border control. We definitely want to ice up HQ heavily. We could consider double icing HQ at some point, but we have nothing to jam at the remote server, which is a problem because they can ice up and they can pretty safely well actually I don't know. I don't know if they want to. And when they want
I
to
mean, Solomir, it's
auto.
always as much as I love a blind mad dash, it's rarely the smart play. So don't feel too bad about that.
Talk about stuff with blind man dash that will only the game. No, you always blind man dash. It's like always for the 419 trigger.
In most alternate universes, that doesn't pan out for you. So
Is it possible to make an optimized R plus deck drawing every time 2 cards is better than 2 credits? Yes, but sometimes it's wrong just because you will flood up on agendas. But that's one of the cool things I really like about the design of R plus. It's one of those few cards that is relevant even when the runner goes tag me.
hmm
And I love
yeah,
that.
he's being relevant. That's great.
Because it's like, oh, and at this point, if I just draw into an tag punishment, I win. I'm gonna click for credit. Otherwise, we could put turnpike into remote server, but there's no reason to do that. But the issue is like agendas. Oh, early pad tap. That's such a problem. Because our ability gives credits on their turn. We'll
Yep,
have
it'll be double the
to
credits.
love you and leave you sadly going out for lunch with the wife. One of the few things worth missing MG life for, unlike work. Enjoy your lunch,
Wow.
macaroni.
Okay, I mean, I'll accept that.
So I don't want to play this. I'm going to keep this for credits. Oh man, there's a red hat on the whale on the same turn that we hit the Rashida because you really want it. That's like the cool thing about pad tap is you start planning. It's kind of like,
hmm
you want to try and play your econ cards in the same turn. You want to feel a quizzical look from your opponent? Try playing a blank ID with all neutral cards and no influence. It made me smile this week. Ah, I saw your deck list. Yeah. Boomerang HQ, we're diverging in, right? Oh no, misclick. No, diverting. Oh, it's just bravadoing. If we res IP block, it eats the boomerang. This will give him back a sure gamble. There's just like so much damn value in Steve.
hmm
They hit the Bologna here. Absolute shambles. You can have a gamble. Predicted, fine. Yeah, Doujin, for what it's worth, I played a fair few like neutral ID decks back in the days, but generally we played an ID that actually did something for us, like ETF or Polana, just as a minimum. But it's fun. It was more fun, I think, back in the day when you had like Grail Ice and like a lot of reasonable. Uh-oh.
Are there any neutral IDs in Ocarina
I think
that ever happened?
so. I'm not sure. No, I think they're all assigned to faction.
Hmm.
I don't think there's a reason to, because even if you pick a neutral card, it became faction. Just like that lady who gives you an extra click, she is an Apex ID, right?
Rachel Beckman, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want a public
Oh, she's an
trail?
Apex. Interesting.
So this is where you could like public trail into hard hitting news abstractly, but like the tag doesn't have any relevance here, and I think that's something Gronky would understand.
Uh, I mean, I do like hedge fund into public trail into Harding News. Like that's
But why? They'll just take the first tag.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're
Oh, and then yeah, we can't afford to trash this. I don't know.
right.
Soul's a neutral ID? No, sure,
True. True.
technically. But I like an ID that actually does something, at least. Because you're already on the back foot, but maybe that's not the point. I don't want to play this to go down to 4 cards. Because I'm assuming they were running HQ. Actually, they only have 1 card in there. Why did we put this on the table? I don't know. Maybe we wanted to play this for 3 credits just to play around pad tap. Actually, could have been correct. Okay, now they're probably going to go HQ to go for these 2. And I'd rather them have a gamble than a bravado, for sure. Well, depends how much money they have. Deuces Wild Exposed turn back at server 1. Trace 5 is a big number. I missed my soul deck. Was so sad when I had to slot in Scarcity to play it in a tournament.
Oh,
Oh.
scarcity. What a frustrating card.
There was a post on Reddit sometime recently be like, how do you play around currents? It's like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
they're pretty good.
it's always cute.
Gain 2 or draw 2? I think we're gonna draw 2.
I think in this case we can safely draw. Yeah.
Just so we don't give him pad tap. It's a Bologna. Do you want it? So now we're trying to draw into exchange because we have public trail into exchange. See, here we can get them. Like if we had an exchange, oh fuck. So we need to score the 15 minutes. Once we score the 15 minutes, like we have a good play here. The other option is no. The Reddit post is funny because the lunar currents were largely not great. Yeah, they were even talking about like
Yeah.
early currents, which again,
Lag time.
word
and
amazing, scrubber and
Net
stuff.
celebrity.
I think we just want to score at the 15 minutes, but then we're going to throw away too many cards. Huh. I would love to all seeing eye this, but unfortunately it's an exchange.
Mhm.
Huh. 7.
Maybe just install the.
I don't want to install this because if we lose it, like we don't have an exchange target.
Hmm.
But you're right. If we install it and we keep it, we can seamless it, which is like really
But
quite
next turn,
good.
if they don't run, then we can't. Yeah, no. You're right. You're right.
No, I
Sorry.
see what you mean. We could actually public trailed into predictive. I don't. They can have a credit. Oh, I did it again. I did it again.
Oh, they don't. They don't have to help you. We don't. They don't know you.
Oh. Eat the cards. No, I refuse. Why do I keep doing that? Technico is underrated. It's my second outtake playing a neutral deck. I don't like Technico a lot. It's a card that's like very, very dead unless you draw it incredibly early, which like really incentivizes you to play 2 or 3 of them, and that's not a good slot. Greatest loss occurrence
Yeah, we
being
all need
removed
room
is
for
not
card.
looking at rumor mill card art. She's still there all the time. Judge. Can you score the Beal from hand with Vlad and Seamless? You totally can. You totally can. I think this is Seamless launch. Like Vladisbersk on its own is pretty cool, but playing it with Seamless so much cooler.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It it drives up the value of seamless dramatically.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put a Beal here because then we actually can do Seamless, advance, score a 4-2. Technico is great if you can play a full op style deck that can afford to throw out ice on multiple remotes. Yeah, if you're like really asset spammy, but again, like those decks generally have better cards. Falsified to guess upgrade. It's a Vladisbersk. I'm not gonna res that. Technico is great. Excuse me. Oh wait, no, the Vlad wasn't down already. No, it wasn't down already. But now we can score at the Beal easily. They have 12 credit again. 2 Rezekis, 2 Pat Tap. Like you have to keep jamming every turn. And you generally want this behind something that does give tags. Onto the front, it's like fine. But HQ is something we have to worry about, I think, a fair bit more. So I think we're just gonna fully opt this out. Okay. Don't mind loss occurrence. Turn 1 housekeeping was such a pain. That was the one you had to throw out a card from hand, right? Whenever you
I
install.
mean, housekeeping wasn't the worst of them, but yeah, it was frustrating.
It's not the worst. Door to door
Housekeeping
was more
the
annoying.
trace one. Oh,
No, that's
is
door to
door-
door. Yeah, housekeeping was the first time you install a card, you have to trash a card.
Oh yeah. That's pretty rough.
It-
Yeah, door to door is the trace one damage or tag.
Yeah. It's like take a tag, take damage if you're tagged, otherwise take a tag.
Yeah, if you're already tagged, you have to take damage.
Oh, cool. 17 credits. Cool.
Yeah, missed our chance. Missed.
Turn 1 scarcity wins worlds. No problem there. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. They have access to paperclip. We have a seamless, which means we can score the 3-2 from hand. We also could just seamless this and then force them to run it, which costs them a credit, a trace 5, and a trash 4. Like that's a lot of money.
So you would seamless something without planning on scoring at that turn. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's cheaper. It's
And I
not
guess
it's
they
not
know
amazing. It's not amazing, but
they
it's
know it's
cheaper.
a bad as they brisk at this point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they know it.
That's true.
Can I go behind my cheap gear check with Death and Taxes? Man, I also did not like Death and Taxes. I did not think it worked out. But for the games that it stuck, it was a really good econ card.
I
Like
don't remember. Let me see Death and Taxes.
it says the first time a card was, I think,
Mm.
trashed, you gained like a credit or 2 credits.
Installs a card or trashes an installed
Yeah.
card.
So
You may
like
gain one.
it fired off of like daily casts and liberated counts and like all this like incidental stuff getting trashed.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Was that
good.
the
Oh, this is
same
not good.
set that had a corporate grant? Yeah.
Not
That's right.
first time,
When they
whenever. Yeah, yeah, whenever. Okay, I think the money is going to be close enough that we're going to be able to lend Harding News. Like this is the fork where they have to, we can exchange. They can't pay 8 twice. Like this is such a mean card. People don't play this. Like lose 8 credits. This is so much money. Admittedly, it costs 4. Luckily, exchange is free, but if we take a tag, we gain 2 credits, which means they gain 2 credits. But like this is a really interesting decision because it'll be on 4 credits. Like, okay, so do we do exchange into have a tag, I guess. Like that's rough.
Nice.
And now hopefully we can win off of fast advancing. We have to find the last 3-2, which is the what's it called? Tomorrow's headline.
Yeah. Tomorrow's headline is the 3-2.
But now we're destitute. We're like totally financially ruined.
Uh,
They have to clear. They didn't clear tag, but that's why.
yeah. That's it.
That's why. There aren't any balanced banned cards in startup like Anger Flesh and Gold Farmer. Startup has.
They're still active in startup. Yeah. I don't think there's any
No,
banned
there's no
cards.
banned cards in startup, are there?
Nope.
No, I don't think there are. But there are
Like
cards in
Gold Farmer
standard that are
and
banned.
Anger Flush are still very good.
Yeah, yeah, they're very
But I guess
good.
the power level doesn't get quite as high as it does in startup, so it's in standard, so it's not a huge problem.
We could consider resing this to duck diversion, but I think the deck
Hmm.
only runs 2. Oh, Miss Bone's coming down. Cool. Yeah, no bans in startup.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Now Netrunner debut is confusing me. Yeah, standard has bans, and there are cards from the startup card pool that are banned in standard, but not the other way around. Deuces, gain 3, probably exposed to run F2P at HQ, which we cannot afford to res. Running archives though.
If you are on Netrunner DB, you can go to more at the drop down menu and then click ban lists, and it shows you exactly. It's like startup, no cards are banned in startup, and then standard. Here's the 80 cards banned in standard. I didn't realize we were up to 80.
Yeah, it's just because all of the currents are banned.
All the currents, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like 40 cards or something wild.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll shuffle back in. We'll do Vladista Burst because that's how we win. Public Trade Exchange is still a way to win. So I think we'll do the exchange. Could have been wrong. They get a Paragon trigger. And now the Citadel Sanctuary is not tech we played against on the weekend, but that's actually a real problem too. Because if we stick them with like a cheeky, what's it called, ping tag, like it's a problem. 37 currents, it's almost half the ban list, yeah. But yeah, 2 Rezeki, 2 Pats up. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, there's no corp equivalent to this.
Hmm.
Okay, now at least we can threaten the F2P. Diesel. Class act triggers, so they look at an extra card. So they look at 4, bottom 1. Running the turn pike. Breaking it. Price tag is less impactful considering they have Miss Bones for sure. I think we'll do 2 public trails.
Oh, 2 public trails.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we still have a seamless in hand and 1 in the deck.
Yeah, true.
This is free. Well, it actually gives them pat tap credits. This is actually good for them. This is actually good for them unless the meat damage hit like a breaker. Because like they gain 2, we gain 0. And they clear the tag clicklessly with Citadel. That's probably incorrect. We want to keep our money up at least. So Citadel Sanctuary isn't like an obvious hit every turn. I feel like they ran HQ here would probably be good, but then the IP block actually they can't trace through it. Yeah. Okay, they have 16 credits. Like what the heck? Like, we're still jamming the remote every turn and we cannot keep their money down. A big part of that's obviously Miss Bones, but like, it's kind of wild, isn't it? Okay, we're just gonna get our money. This'll help. I have to boomerang this. And when they boomerang this, they still gain 2 credits off of Massless, off of Pat Tap. Diversion of funds.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's
If
that's
we
tough.
res the F2P, it's really quite bad for us. The issue is if we don't res the diversion F2P, we might actually get diversioned twice, because this is the first diversion we've seen. So I feel like we have to res the F2P and then we'll go down to 1 credit. Because otherwise I think they'll just set up for diversion. Maybe that's correct, and then the second F2P is actually good for them. But here they have to pay 4 credits. Or no, they actually don't. They pay 2 credits. What, they're breaking it. It's about the same cost. But they could actually consider taking the tag. I guess that means they can't trace through that, so that's why they don't want to. Audrey click credits correctly. Drink. Here's a paperclip. Okay, so they're not gonna... Whoa, this is a fair bit of their money.
Yeah, that's nice. This is good.
We're short of the turnpike on R&D by 1, which is annoying. They haven't shown their, what's it called yet? Their turning wheel. Bravado, sick. Yeah, great. Just the thing that annoys me is like these abilities, which are like just value over time cards as opposed to like flashy plays. But I guess we are playing Reality
Yeah,
Plus.
it's rarely an interesting decision
It's just
if you
like
build Steve the right way.
absurd value over time. Like we just click for 3. I guess we might as well put this on the server. Let's say diverse. What's it called? And 3 credits is good enough. It's just as soon as we click to 5, they hit us again with the siphon. Man, I miss playing against Adam. Forced to trash things too. Doesn't play Miss Bones. Cameras and mouseless, 1 short. Would have been okay. This is just forcing out their Miss Bones, but it's like not very good. They're spending 2 credits to run this. Oh, they're making a Paragon credit. Yeah, I actually think it's quite bad.
Yeah, this isn't good at all.
Oh, you can actually put this on Cetro servers. Doesn't really do anything, but you could.
I guess you can. That's weird because like Tranquility doesn't says specifically no central server.
So this is okay because now they actually have to pay the full cost because they got the refund once on the turnpike. So that actually works out okay. They have Bologna credits. Nothing. Third Pat Tap, like sick. Cool. So now we play this. We gain 3. They gain 3. Like, what are you meant to do?
I suppose Vlad's Bitter's grid doesn't say no remotes because there could be other upgradable.
Yeah, you can like move tokens to a Biovault or whatever. I guess Biovault's actually remote only. Never mind. But yeah, there's like no reasons necessary. The only reason that if it doesn't do that, it might confuse people with ice. You're probably meant to trash those Pat Taps. We can't afford it. We can't spend 9 credits in a whole turn.
There's no point when we could have definitely afforded those Pat Taps, and that's too bad.
And I do think this deck does lack money.
Yeah, we're just hoping that they accidentally end with a tag and then we go.
No, but they Citadel it.
Yeah.
Like now we literally cannot play hedge fund or predictive. Throw multiple trails to ASI them. Yeah, we need to ASI them. I just don't see them taking a tag. That's why I'd love to play ping in this deck. Like more copies of ping. I think we might concede. ASI's your turn out right now? Yeah, but we have no way. Like we have to basically draw into both what's it called? Have 8 credits, not get diversion, which you know we're gonna do that as soon as we get to 5, and then they're gonna recur the diversion. Like this is where playing against this is so boring. Is that as soon as the 2 diversions are the bin, next turn they run HQ, get a diversion. Like I think we scoop. Yeah, firing here is correct. I'm going to draw 2 so they don't gain money. Because it's not a May ability, which is really funny. Yeah, I think they realize it's cheaper just to let this fire. Especially if we get the credits. Plotting, right? Plotting. Lose 4. Cool. Cool. Would Pat Tap be more reasonable if I didn't take a click? I don't know. Paul up? That actually stops with a Disbursk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one complaining about this card, but like, yeah, it's an issue. And now they're gonna run HQ next turn, and of course, bring back 2 diversion. So like, we just don't have a game for the next 4 turns. I don't want to discard everything. If we can't res this, they can put down Turning Wheel and capitalize off Turning Wheel. So I don't love putting this in front of R&D and not having the money to res it.
This certainly seems like concession.
Yeah, just about. Because there's one more diversion and then another diversion with recursion diversion.
Yeah.
Diversion recursion.
Mm.
I think Mouseless is the one ice that they'll struggle with. I'm throwing out the All-Seeing Eye, I think.
Oh, it's time to give up on the dream.
No, okay, we won't. Because Public Trail could get either. Yeah, we'll just lose on 5 points. That's fine. Rezeki with 3 credits installed, it's almost just as bad. It doesn't push it from being included in most decks. I think if Rezeki's 3 credits, it's not that big of a difference. It obviously makes you want the games to go longer for it to be good. 1 turn longer, ideally, for it to pay out. But I don't think it has that big of an impact. That's a nice.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's like it's less of an obvious. Like it makes it more of an awkward turn 1 play.
Yes, yeah, that's true. It makes setting up
That's what
harder, which I think is a big deal.
That's the important thing. You want to make it hurt a lot more at the outset.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. It does slow down. You can't like install Rezeki daily cast and credit or whatever. I guess you could, but it's worse. I think we concede, right? Like they're making more money clicklessly than we are clicking. 3 credit Rezeki's data folding, but data folding has a condition onto it that's actually very strict.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Well,
You're locked in here with me. Good game. Yeah, that's not what you can do.
We do love an opponent who quotes Watchmen.
They have 151 credits to our 44. Yikes. And again, that's an issue I think I have with this deck because it doesn't have a lot of money. So you really need a jam on the table and they really need a misstep for it to happen. But if they play like very conservatively, and especially if they have like 1 or 2 pieces of tech, I think it's quite difficult. Like Call Up and Citadel, like that shuts down 2 of our win cons.
How many pings did you say the deck has?
Just 1.
Okay.
But the issue is like ping is really good, but like IP block is 2 credits to tax 3 and is like Amakua threat. Like it is a taxing dice for the cost. So it's like close to Eli. Most deck runs at most 2 Rezekis. Shapers run 3, but a lot of the criminals run 2. But that's because MU is also an issue. It's 2 upfront, being 3 credit makes them comparable. 3 folding takes 2 MU. 3 Rezeki takes 3 MU. Wait. But it's... I don't know. In some ways, also that you can... I'm not sure the pull-up is actually useful. Yeah, Rungi it is, because it stops the Vladisibirsk. But like, I just don't understand what I do. You just diversion me every turn. It hits Vladisibirsk for sure. Actually, no, it doesn't. Unless it's already pre-resed. Yeah, I can see this the Vlad. Hold on, wait, can we 1? Yeah, you're right, it's instant speed. So all we need is 4 credits. And if we draw into the, what's it called? The 3-2 agenda, which is near the bottom of the deck, tomorrow's headline, we actually could win. We need 5 credits, excuse me. But it's just like, you're going to diversion me, then you run HQ, bring back the diversion. It's like, we don't have a game. There's an opening to blow up with res before the seamless? No, there isn't. Yeah, you're right, because we can res this and use it at the same paid ability window. As long as we install the agenda first. If you're at 5 credit, I'm trashing the Vlad. If I have 5 credits, you're diversioning us to the ground. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a chance that just adding 4 cards to this deck might make it better. Do you want to try it?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So it would be money.
An agenda and 3 money cards. Yeah, it's different than Dedi, because Dedi you need to spend a click to actually to put the advancements on
it. And 1 ice, right? For 5?
I think we only we had 5. Yeah, that's a good idea. An ice. Maybe even 2 ice. Okay, let's try this.
Okay, so what's the money we want to add?
I'm thinking just Regolith, because I don't know what else there is. Because your agenda has Vladisibirsk in it, so you don't often want to like put in like what's it called, daily quest?
Yeah, I think
Archer
2 or 3 archers.
I think we do Regolith and we just jam that.
Okay, is there any interest in NGO? Because like they know you've got Novosibirsk.
Oh yeah, NGO's good. Yeah, I like NGO, and that forces them to run. That's better. That's better. That's a huge idea. Let's do another remastered edition, and then we'll put an ice. Let's just put a ping.
I like ping.
Cool.
Is F2P really giving you value?
It is annoying for Anarchs. 5 strength is really hard for Anarchs when they go tag.
Sure,
When they
yeah.
go tag me, it's like the wall. Because like it
Yeah.
returns their Stargate, it returns a lot, but it's it's not amazing, but the sentries are bad. 49 cards are plus. I know Solomir, but like there's just way too many things to put in the deck. Like you need tag punishment, you need economy, you need your agendas, you need your ice. It's like really quite difficult. Maybe we'll play 54 cards. What's Kevin
Just to
playing?
spite the people who like 40 card decks.
All right, it's meant to be an okay matchup. Hey, Kevin.
Uh, that's too many agendas for me.
Seems quite bad. Not that much better. A bit
I'd
better.
rather have that's far too few ice
Yeah.
pieces for me, but sure.
I think our ice ratio obviously got worse.
Hmm.
But we can open with Spin Dock. I don't mind opening with Spin Dock.
Yeah, that's fine.
Opening with Spin Dock's a bit rough.
Spin dock, why?
So Max takes a while, so we want to go a bit quick.
Mhm.
Uh, do we want to strand a
Install
Rashida?
Rashida?
I don't
I
know.
mm,
They often run
maybe.
that. It forces them to run though, so like they really need a dirty laundry. Otherwise, this is quite bad. But I don't love it. It's like we're gonna draw into an ice soon enough. Price tag on top of the spin. I don't love that either. I don't think they'll run the spin doctor. It's probably okay, but then it forces us to use the spin doctor when we want to like rotate to the remote server, which might be bad. Oh, they have a light to
Mhm.
fire. Because like there's a chance that our scoring server will be server 2 because they're not going to contest spin doctor for the next turn.
Mhm.
So there's a chance this will stay and then we'll be awkward and we'll have to be forced to pop it before we want to. So I don't love it always. I also never like putting price tag unless it's behind A's. Like I want them to pay money to hit the price tag.
Yeah, yeah. Make it costly so that they
Yeah.
might be stuck with the tag. That's the key.
Cool. Pat tap, pat tap, pat tap. Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah, there's some money. There's some money.
Well, hey, Rashida fires. Get your pat tap. Yeah, there you go. Like, oh, okay. So if we had what's it called to be good? A seamless launch? 3 and 37? Why is Rashida wearing a weird hat? Everyone's wearing a weird hat though. Not these kids. Okay. Oh, the T here is. Do you
Yeah,
ever
it's been a it's the April Fools update for Jinteki
Mhm.
that's going all year round. This year, it's all April. That's the JNet promise.
Do you ever not contest spin when there's nothing in archives? Yes and no. I think there's some matches that it is worth doing. I think the biggest match where I really want to contest spin doctor when there's nothing in archives is an Audacity matchup, like a Wayland Fast Advance. Get that out of there so they can't Audacity with impunity. But in a lot of other matchups, you only want to do that before like you put down a Stargate or uh, I don't know. I'm so sad people are annoyed with the hat. I love it so much. Oh, is Phil? Okay. 2 Rezekis? Okay,
I
cool.
think the hats are great, but like
I like the
this
hats.
can't be an all month. It has to be like a week long, limited time thing, so that
Yeah,
people have time to it's the our place of Netrunner.
I'm surprised it's as long as it is.
Mhm.
Okay, no paperclip yet. Okay, MK Ultra, liberated. Again, 2 Rezekis, 1 Petap, what's new? I think Noah's a bit busy. Noah doesn't have time to undo the hats. Deuces, a good card in the matchup. You are going to take some tags. Gain 2, draw 2, gain 3. We hit HQ here. We have 2 trashables, hard hitting news, good for them to know. They're on 10 credits though. But we have a remastered, a second pad tap, fantastic. Like every deck, it's just a pad tap and Rezeki machine. Like I don't think people are making interesting decisions here.
I think it's okay to trash pad tap sometimes.
We can't afford it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this deck is so poor. That's the main
Well, like
problem.
it's such a big cost. It's like every time you do that, you're basically diversioning yourself, right? Like a
Mhm.
click and 3 credits is so much money. Why wouldn't you run pad tap and runner decks? I think you're right. I think you should. It's just it's kind of like really crowding out corpse. Um, guess the list? No, I don't. I guess this. Actually, the Vlad is good too. We probably could have done the Vlad. Vlad, without an advancement, you can move this advancement, advance once and slow.
I do love the hats on Vlad.
Yeah, yeah, that's on Vlad are wild.
Mhm.
Were there actually birds up there?
Oh, is that I thought they were literally just flying hats. Let me
There
see
must have
if
been something there, because otherwise that is. Massive.
Oh yeah, that they're cars or like
Yeah, the
flying cars or
hoppers.
something. Hmm.
Pat was
That's
previously
yeah.
banned to give Glacier Course more options. Exactly, yeah. Oh, Light the Fire and Aeneas. Oh, I was so surprised how strong Aeneas and Foreman is. Oh my god, seeing this trigger on every single run? I forgot this just triggered on runs, which is obviously like a wild sentence, but this just fires all the time, just fires.
Mhm.
Still no paperclip. But like our economy cards are not worth playing. Like us gaining 3 credits for them to gain 2 credits, like why? What are we doing? We could score this out at the cost of our token. We're not going to do that. Yo, Eric, how's it going? What's the story with the hats? First time I see that. It was an April Fool's joke. So there's a card called Chiraboga. What's his first name?
Bass
Bass
Chiriboga.
Chiraboga, who has this hat. And the flavor test asked, because he's a buy red, who made him wear this hat. Like it's an interesting inclusion for a robot. And I think it's a hat it's like from South American culture with a feather in it. And then everything has hats. Do you see the red hat and the fireball in the background of Light the Fire?
Oh yeah, cute.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, the original text was like it suggested that he like, sure he's made to order, but he also has developed a kind of personality that he just loves a hat.
Like a Ken
Uh,
Tenma kind of.
yeah, exactly.
This one looks sharper for some reason.
Mhm.
Hippo has a hat. Yeah, it's April Fool's. It's been around forever now. People are really confused.
And I really can't look at Hippo and not think of Everything Everywhere All at Once now.
Oh my god, Pat. All right, we public trail again. I don't think we really have a play here. Why don't we just put this on the table? How's it going, Dennis? Thank you for following on Twitch. I saw you followed. Kevin, what do you got there? Still no paperclip. Oh, they have a paperclip. They have a paperclip. Keep putting things in their mouth. Last turn I didn't. I thought now I would.
So I was just browsing Netrunner DB because I wanted to see what was on the image of Nova Super's grid,
Mhm.
and a commenter is saying that it's a real building.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Stargate. Oh. So if you res the IP block, they have to break all of it, which is going to cost them 7. It's going to cost us 2 if they hippo it.
Oh wow, look at that.
I know in Ljubljana and Slovenia, there's like these modern buildings that you can see a bit far away from the capital that are like the diving board, the skakalnica, I think they call it, which
Hmm.
is, it looks like this, but there's all these balconies, but it looks like an Olympic diving board, and it really stands out in the city skyline.
Hmm.
It's weird. Fire, okay. We're not gonna boost the trace. So it looks like this, they're not gonna hippo. Mouseless is the thing they want to hippo, it's very hard. Kind of looks like a building I've seen in Beijing. All right, so this is going to be Stargate. They have Harding New Seamless Rashida. The Seamless we'd love to draw.
There's that fascinating building in Singapore, right? That's like almost looks like a boat suspended on two pillars.
I don't know about that one.
I think I remember seeing that in Crazy Rich Asians.
Hmm.
I'm forgetting what country that takes place in.
Seamless goes out the top. Makes sense. We have a Hard Hitting News. They know. We have Public Trail into Hard Hitting News, but we have no punishment. Like they haven't sold an agenda. And again, like we just cannot afford to play economy cards.
Hmm.
We could do install advanced events, but if we put in the remote server, like they run the remote server and they trash everything, which is bad. But I think
Yeah.
we want to fire this on the same turn that we fire something else. The boat building, I saw a model of that built in Lego.
Neat.
It's Marina Bay Sands Casino.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Let me just search that. Oh yeah, it's a boat on stilts. Sick. Oh, inside's interesting too.
Hmm.
Hold on. Okay. Whoa, they light the fire ring. Wait,
Oh,
we're so stupid.
yeah. Oh, we're
I
boned.
might have made a huge mistake.
Yeah, we're boned. Hey, buddy, I'm just going to bed. You,
Anyways, we've had a good run, y'all.
yeah, we had a good
Good
run.
seeing
Good night,
y'all.
everybody.
We'll be back in a week.
Love to see you people. Big fan.
Is that ego? It actually, no, it is ego.
Yeah, ego. It is hubris.
Oh my god, it's so good. It blanks everything. I think we lost. And I'm not gonna say that I knew we should have put this in another remote. I'm like, putting everything together is terrible. And I'm like, oh wait, the price deck is okay. What were we thinking?
Oh,
Yeah. No, that's on me. Okay, well,
that's devastating.
I think we
Like,
lose.
it's not literally the end of the game, but
No,
it's
it's literally
devastating.
the end of the game.
Okay.
Do you know how much money we just lost?
A lot. We spent 2 clicks and 2 credits,
Yeah, that's
and
huge.
it's huge, yeah.
And
It's
then they
huge.
just wiped their whole server, which is gonna happen anyways. Okay. Well, cool. CCTV towers, the Beijing one only looks like it from one angle.
CC.
Oh, they lost a rebirth to brain damage though. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. That's a scary building. I could I believe in the engineers of our modern age, but I'd have a hard time living in that corner office.
So what it looks like to Kevin is that it was an NGO front. Oh, it's the second one. And so that existence of that means that we couldn't res the ice, which is
Mhm.
not technically true, but sort of true. They know this is Rashida. Oh, this is a disaster. They still have Stargate out and they're on 13 credits. They don't have access cards, right? So Aeneas doesn't fire? Yeah.
Now I'm looking at Ljubljana diving board building.
I think we can concede. I think we concede here. Cool. Yeah, we do want to res because they had overclock anyways. And they're going to trash Rashida for sure. Otherwise, they would have got their stuff down. Now Ma's an issue, obviously, because it keeps cards at hand. We really need, like, an exchange would be good. An all-seeing eye would be good. But, like, we can't afford to play these. Like, we could play 2 of them to gain 6. They would gain 2. Not the worst. I think we have to do it. Gain 3, not draw 3. But now we have too few cards in hand. They're bottoming out. Liberated's going to come down. Okay, they're on 20 credits. Huh.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what's our game plan?
We still have a game to plan, eh?
Yeah,
I guess we have money.
we have some money. I'm checking labor rights. We haven't seen any yet. So that's not good. We can score up to 5 points easy. Going further than that's a bit harder. Mouseless is good. They have Turning Wheel though. Turnpike is good enough. Costs them 4 credits every time, which is a lot for something that costs us 2. Mouseless is really annoying for them. I think we have to Mouseless R&D eventually. I think we're just going to do that and click for credit, unfortunately. Maybe also putting the Turnpike up here is important, but the install costs are getting pretty bad. But oh my god. This is bad. And now the Maw is going to rip us apart. This is still fine. This is 4 credits. That's 6
Yeah, that
credits.
worked out in our favor,
Yeah,
I
this
think.
is a good ice. Hard hitting to use. All right, so we lost our public trail. That's unfortunate. Definitely would have liked that. That is one of our ways we can win. But like, if we can't land an all-seeing eye, love the hats. What's the other econ are we looking to draw? We're not looking to draw an econ. We're looking to draw more stuff in their remote server to pull them through. But it's impossible against like 2 pad tap 2 Rezekis. Like it's like this is the best we got. So we'd have to draw this. We'd have to draw seamless as well. Ping is good. Oh yeah, we had a 2 ping. I forgot about that. So we actually can build a hell remote server as long as we have an exchange set up, an exchange or something else. We can actually set up 2 pings and like have it be a problem for them. How poor are we gonna go here? Okay. So now we have to like basically make a trap. Is that we do 2 pings. So if they run and they don't have 2 clicks left, which is unlikely. Kevin's been running really early in the turn because I think he respects it. Yeah. It's over. Going to get grinded. I know. We should concede.
Yeah.
Yeah, triple tap ping, like it's ridiculous. And they have an Aeneas, so every time they access 2, they like it gains a credit. Like they gain a credit from hitting his hard hitting news. Wait, do they not?
Triple ping trap. Can we do a triple ping trap?
Wait, do
Oh,
they
that
not
is
get an
good.
Aeneas credit? Is it not automated? Do you not get Aeneas there? Oh, with the trash cost. Thank you. Got it. Okay, so it's not as powerful as I think it is, but still very, very powerful. Yeah, because it needs a trash cost right on. I thought it was just any card you don't trash. Yeah, totally. All right, the dirty laundry. And we probably concede. Paladin.
Oh,
What's the dirty laundry doing
do
out
they
there?
have a lot to install?
No, it's all
I
good.
feel like that's not necessary. Oh, I guess it wasn't intentional.
No, I don't think so. It's just a zero cost Desperado. Though. I know. Whenever you run zero cost Desperado. Yeah, that's wild. But like when I was watching this on Saturday, someone was playing it and they were just hitting HQ and it was just like upgrades in hand that the corp was installing, and it looked like a zero cost Desperado. It was wild. But it's a good card for zero. Okay. We need a seamless. Like if we install Rashida, we lose Vladislabursk too. And if we install this naked, they can just ping it with Aeneas and Stargate. I think they don't want us to fire it though. I don't know. I think we concede. We'll give us one more turn. If they hit all 3 labor rates, maybe we have something. But I think they'll start drawing if all the labor rates are out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen no labor rates so far.
Happy to see Light the Fire do a lot of good work, though.
Yeah, kind of goofed that up real bad. Second Aeneas. Yeah, just value. Let's go. Hard hitting news. Gonna get a Mod trigger. Losing the Rashida. That's fine. Our ability hasn't fired. This game has it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't remember it firing.
Okay. They can also like light the fire at Bologna. They're in 4 hand size. I wonder if we actually want to bait out a light the fire just on the basis that it might hit like a what's it called? One of their recursion cards. You can also tech to this, right? You're just showing up the strength of the new card. Is that you can tech into this and start playing like Salam's Hospitality against like these sort of decks. And also against the deep dive decks. I think it's fine. Holy shit, that is a lot of really disgusting
Oh, we got
spam.
very
How do you
badly
deal with that? Hold on one
spammed.
second.
4 at once. Good for them.
How do I destroy this? Remove? Remove? Sorry, and I have to report. Okay, they're gone. I can't even report.
I'll report one of them.
Okay. Okay, excuse me. We're back. I think you can advance of Vlad good to get the LTF. Yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to bait this out because I think they might think it's a Bologna, but that's our only chance out here. But we click for credit, but it's pretty bad. We want them to steal Bologna. Got spin doctors and 3 tags plus HSN. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Right? Like they can take 2 tags.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the IP block becomes interesting because then they have to install their breaker. But yeah, no, this is what's gonna happen every time. They're not gonna. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
So I think we concede.
Excuse me. Yeah.
We could consider resing this. No, they just trace through it. They're not gonna install their breaker. Yeah, I think we can concede. We just don't have money. We're not threatening anything, so we're not doing anything quick. And I just don't understand what you do about this. It just feels like every deck is just delivering Rezekis and pad taps, and then just like, what can you do?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Do y'all does everyone trash pad taps? Do you guys trash pad taps?
I do trash pad taps.
How, can you afford it?
The corpse that I'm running might be a bit richer, or like, I'm not going to let them get a free credit every turn if I can help it.
No, I just played decks go too fast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why conceding when you have the majority points? Because we have no way to score out any more points. We have 0 way to score any more points. We're going to end the game on 3 points. Like our remote server does not score agendas. So, oh, they have a Citadel and now we concede. Yeah, that's it. Hey, good game. Always trash pad tap? Maybe I have to try doing that, but like this deck definitely can't afford it. Okay. Thanks for the game, eh? Sorry, but no, it's all good. It's on us.
Yeah, that was demoralizing. is what that
Not a
was.
big change, all
Mhm.
things considered. You can't afford not to trash tap at pat tap either. I think you can. Like, well, yes and no. Maybe with disability it's a bit bad, but like there was never a window for it. Like we have 25 credits in this deck. Maybe that's a problem with the deck, but 25 credits. Like we can't spend, a fifth plus of an economy. They're just too good. Yeah, maybe. If you're playing Glacier, yeah, we're not playing Glacier. We want to go a bit fast, but we can't consistently get fast on the table.
Mhm.
I think this is a bit of a dream, the All Seeing Eye, but it's landed up classically. That's terrible.
Yep.
I think it depends on
That
how
was
much
a
money you still need to win. Yeah, we need a fair bit of money to win though. Because like so much of us is a threat of how much money we have versus them. Like obviously when we get to turn, what's it called? 14, like most runners corps can't win against us unless they have something very, very strong. Hey, cheers to
mm.
you. But yeah, that's brutal. That's really bad. I just really don't like it how every deck just seems to be like piling these things on.
Well, I'm adding another game of Netrunner to my BG Stats app,
Oh, no way.
and that's a loss. Too bad.
Hey, Kevin,
Too
good
bad.
games, man.
Hey.
Yeah, I think okay. So this list, like, I think has economy issues. I think if you have to go really quickly, you have to be very lucky that you're drawing the seamless and the punishment correctly. Need econ pile versus wide HHN deck. How's it going? Nice. What do you mean exactly? Patent, PT and Gag operate on such little money needed to hit WinCon. This deck needs a lot of credits. This deck, well, this deck, like, I have won games with this, so I don't think it needs a lot of money. But I do think, I don't know how to answer that. Is there some econ hate tech to be added? I don't think so. What's the idea of this deck? Okay, so the idea of this deck abstractly is that you're jamming very quickly so that you have like a seamless launch type backup. So you're putting one or two ice on the remote server and just pushing anything into it all the time. And then from that point, you have like a fork of all seeing eye and exchange of information, which are quite potent, especially because you have a backup of either public trail and then hard hitting news or public trail into hard hitting news. An interesting thing is like the tag punishment in this deck, it's only 2 cards. And if you don't draw them, mind you, predicted planogram kind of counts. If you don't draw them at the right time, like they don't really do anything, which is an issue. And on top of that, you have a bit of fast events tricks on top of it. So
Hmm.
it's interesting. It does a lot of weird stuff, and the agenda suite is interesting enough that you can score out. Ice is abstractly good, but as soon as Pat Tap comes down, like so much of this is looking really ugly. Marylands are always a good influence way to get econ. Yeah, sure. Well, there's neutral ways too. Like Regolith is fine. Like NGOs we added, it's fine. There's more money you can put into it. I usually trash Pat Tap turn 1 as PD and usually ignore it turn 3. I think that sounds about right. Is bias reporting still legal? It is. I think you need trash pads. Maybe that's what we learned. But like, I think Kevin, in that game we had 25 credits. Admittedly, we lost 8 to like an NGO front, but like, I still don't know how we win while trashing pad tap. But yeah, turn 1, I think it makes more sense than anything else. Because you're paying 3 and it's probably costing us. Actually, the pad taps weren't that good for you, but the threat is real. As then if you install enough drip, you can win versus CTM and Gag, which are pretty common for runners, barring good fast events or whatever. So that's a really big thing, is like against Gagarin or like CTM, where they get down to Maryland or they get down to Bankers, right? Like your pet taps go really far because so much of that deck is building up an economic differential. And if their cards are working for you, like that's obviously not going to work.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and it's never their choice. It's happening every turn.
yeah, maybe banning is the best solution. I wouldn't be too upset about that. I wish CU was playable without Judge, but reward is kind of low over the cost. So there's like some really cool things here, and I love like seamless launch abstractly when you want to play things like fly on the wall. And this already works with the one of like what's it called? The 3-2 that you can play. Like you have a built-in CU. If you fly on the wall, score it out with seamless, you have a click left over. If you score this out with a Vladisa burst, you have actually a click left over. So you can do some cool stuff. This into punishment. Now the other option is CU, but like people have credits. You need to get a heck of a lot of money for this to fire. People don't play CU at all, though. Combo's Public Trail and HHN. I honestly think the combo is just Public Trail to Public Trail. Because Public Trail to Exchange will win you the game. Yeah. Bring
But
Bacon
certainly
Bees
those
back.
2 cards, one after the other, is going to hurt somebody. It's
Well,
going to get people.
it is, but again, it's weird because the tag punishment for this deck isn't that big, right? Like, if they don't have resources, obviously most people do, but like if they don't have an agenda, let alone a 5-3 agenda, the exchange is not that great. 16 credits is a lot. It is an immense amount of money. And a lot of times people will pay 8 for the first one. I think actually a lot of times, and this showed up in the game we had against Rongi, I think you just take the tag. Like if somebody hits you with a public trail and you do not have a 5-3 agenda, just take the tag. Especially if they haven't scored out at 15 minutes. Just take the tag because they're baiting you into hard-hitting news. Could be very annoying with that 1 5-meter 2 tags agenda, but that does a lot of points. The 4-2 agenda, yeah, it's not particularly great. The what's it called? Orbital something something? Oh, also never take the Bologna. Yeah, Kevin, never take the Bologna. Well, if you can trash the Bologna, trash the Bologna. But yeah, if you take the Bologna and it puts you to low credits, like this deck will capitalize on that mistake very heavily. Like public trail to exchange for Bologna is how you want to win. You want to give them an early Bologna, honestly. But like I think we played against like Max with Infinite Imp, and then we played against Light the Fire. So like we're gonna have a really low success rate with getting Bolognas on the table into people's score area. As long as they play it correctly. 24 seconds news cycle armed intimidation is probably the best you can do with the standard agendas. 24/7's banned. I'm pretty sure it's a banned card. Yeah, it's banned.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be very strong with the 4-2 orbital superiority.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. But even like just tomorrow's headline would be strong enough. Right? Like get the scored, take a tag, exchange, go. Anywho, I think that's all for today. We'll be back next week again. I put up a deck list if you want to give this some upvotes. I'm hoping to play as a deck just a week next week, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Is it really just upvotes the it's
I
like
have no
it's
idea.
right?
I don't think it's transparent.
Because certainly the time that I famously got deck list of the week, I don't think it was. Don't think it was the most updated. It was just the most favorite because everyone loves me. I think
Ah, what deck was yours?
that was. I have made some mistakes and I have
Oh,
no
right.
regrets.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I have some egrets. That was
Mhm.
it. Ah, good times.
Yeah,
Good
I
times.
spent a lot of time writing a write-up for this. I highly recommend trying this out. I think it's actually quite fun. If you have any questions about it, hit me up either through the ways that you normally do or in this. I'm going to respond to the comments right after the stream. But I think it's a really fun deck, and I think it's there's some work that can be done. I think you can tune it aggressively to metas, which is really fun. But it's like one of the most fun decks I have played, just because like it does something like Geist, but the amount of triggers and control you have over your turn with cards like Prognostic and Masterwork are like way more interesting than a lot of Geist decks. Your guys got first grats. Yeah, thanks, Thanos. Went undefeated. It went pretty well. Thank you very much for streaming. Good having you on, Pat. Yo, Elwin, thanks for watching. Kevin,
Yeah, of
see you as
course.
well. Good games.
Always happy to be here.
Dice
Always happy
pulling.
to talk to people.
Great games, guys. Thanks for streaming, Tobo. Of course. We'll be back in a week. Again, Nisei has a thing up, a survey. If you want to go to their website and fill it out real quick, it doesn't take long. I think they'd love to hear it. And that's it.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Ciao.